Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fast Travel Lounge. My name is Patrick, I am joined by Saif and Josh this week. No Steven, you are listening to episode 27. Grand show as always. Say hi everyone.
Hey everyone.
Howdy.
So, do we think it's because Steve had to repeat a grade in Clown College? Because that's kind of my going theory.
No. So this week he's going to be gone for 2 weeks. This week he's doing the Tour de France on his hands, running it. So, and then next week he'll be doing the Isle of Man.
Also on his hands?
Maybe. At 300 kilometers an hour.
I thought what was happening was because the PlayStation State of Play just happened, he refuses to come on and talk about it.
So all the talking is going to be done with his therapist instead. I understand. That's fair enough.
Microsoft stocks went down pretty hard.
Look, after seeing Final Fantasy 16's gameplay, I also needed therapy, so yeah. Understandable, really.
Can't wait to talk about that. Mostly a news-dominated thing this week, probably. We got a lot of stuff to cover. State of Play being one of the main things. But, of course, before we do that, we have to ask the obligatory question. Who's got Krispy Kreme?
I didn't this week.
I did get donuts from Woolworths and they're awful. So, Krispy Kreme, maybe that's what I should have got.
Yeah, probably.
Really learning lessons here.
Patrick, you did show us something Krispy Kreme related earlier in the week, though. Would you like to talk about that?
Not really. I am quite disappointed that Krispy Kreme would go and sponsor Udi, or however the hell you say that product.
Was it a sponsor or just a collaboration?
Does it matter?
I guess not.
They're not collaborating or sponsoring us, and that's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah. We feel like we're missing out.
You just give everyone that listens to the podcast a donut. How would you collaborate with a physical thing with a digital medium like that?
Every donut contains a USB stick that contains our greatest hits.
I suppose they could just do a QR code or something, or a code that they could get free donuts or cheaper donuts or something.
I like my idea.
I like the
better.
USB donut better though. Yeah.
Yeah. All you need to do is just download this free RAM. No, that's fair enough.
It'd be like the old cornflakes things and stuff where you bite into a donut, but this time it's like a disc of Age of Empires 2.
Man, remember when they did game discs in cereal boxes?
They were great, man. That's how I got half of my taste in games, I think.
What about your taste in cereal?
Well, I didn't eat the disc afterwards, so I don't know if they're quite correlated. It did look kind of tasty, though.
Well, no sense in beating around the metaphorical bush. Might as well go straight into Around the Lounge for this week. Josh, what do you... actually, I don't even know where this fits in. We're doing album or Around the Lounge first? You pick.
Well, I don't really have anything for Around the Lounge. I can say a little bit about Diablo Immortal and a tiny bit about Final Fantasy X. But otherwise, album, so...
Alright, so that'll be Around the Lounge segment. That's fine, thank you. You can stop talking now. Seth, what about you?
I finally did it. I finally finished Ace Attorney 3 Trials and Tribulations.
My god, the man himself. Is that it? You sort of left that one hanging there, man.
I thought you were going to say something else after that. So I was just like, okay, he's taking me out of the segment and he's going to finish it off.
What does that shorten down to?
It's like show and tell, where you show up and you're super proud of it and you present it and the teacher's like, is there anything else?
No, that's it.
Was there something better? Something more worth my time?
Ace Attorney is definitely worth people's time. Thank you very much.
If you shorten it down, it sounds like a Star Wars robot. It'd be like AC3 TNT.
It'd be
Thank you for that, Josh.
TNT.
Would it be what, sorry?
Ace Attorney. I don't know where you got
Ace Attorney. I don't know where I got the C from. I don't know. So AATT. It's just the American phone carrier. It's AT&T.
Well, no, that's the Star Wars walker.
Oh, isn't that an AT? What is this? ATST? ATST and AT. What's the other one?
AT-AT.
AT-AT. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
I thought that was the precursor for the TI-88 calculator.
See, I only know it's the AT-AT because everyone was going the AT-ATs in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh god. It's just two at symbols, you shift 2. Oh my god.
Isn't that the Twitter handle?
No,
for the AT-AT, it might be.
No, the Twitter handle is Fast Travel Lounge, missing an L.
Would it be clever if there was actually an official AT-AT Twitter handle that just had at and then just AT? Just then it'll be AT-AT. That'd be great.
See, here, AT is also Auckland Transport, so, just more confusion to the mix.
We need to stop saying AT-AT before I start thinking about it in my sleep.
What about 8181? There was a Chinese family that tried to name their kid the @ symbol, just because...
Elon Musk?
Shockingly, no. Just because the symbol matched up with like a word in the language, but it would have been easier to just write the @ symbol as the child's name. Got denied,
cool,
unsurprisingly,
actually.
But yeah, no, it would have been kind of dope.
If I was named just @ symbol, I'd be pretty happy. That's pretty dope.
I mean, it's all fun and games until you try and get the email, though. At gmail.com. It would suck.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Actually,
terrible.
even just putting your name in forms on websites it'd just be like, no, use a proper character.
Is this a SQL injection attack? What's happening?
Yeah.
No, fair enough. For me this week, not a huge amount to add. I've been following some of the Diablo Immortal news, and I've seen Top Gun Maverick twice.
Twice? Wow.
Twice, even. Yeah, I'll probably end up talking about that.
Oh, speaking of movies, I did want to add one more thing that I did do this week. I ended up watching Morbius. I morbed out over the weekend.
Oh my god.
How
did
you...
this never come up?
Yeah.
I've been holding it in to tell you guys on the podcast.
And then you nearly forgot. It was only because I mentioned Top Gun. Man, we would have gone through an entire episode. You would have been like, oh, I forgot to morb with the boys today.
Oh my
Shit.
god, it's literally Morbin time. It's actually a Morbin time. This is wild.
It's actually Morbin time. We are so close to the mighty Morbin Power Rangers right now.
God, I've seen edits of that, and one time when someone said it's Morbin time, I just had that stuck in my head for like an entire day.
That's
Mighty
excellent.
Morbin Power Rangers.
Well, I feel like we all know what the most important news of the week is then. Saif, tell us about Morbius.
Morbius is a disappointment because he never says it's Morbin time in the movie. It is a 2 out of 10.
Did he sweep at least?
He did not sweep.
What if they just released Morbius 2 and it's just him sweeping with a broom for an hour and a half saying it's Morbin time on repeat?
No. The after credit scene is him saying it's Morbin time.
No, in actuality, it was like we watched it as a bit on Trinity's Discord, and I don't know, it was just like, okay, let's watch Morbius just for the heck of it because everyone's talking about it. Everyone knows it's shit, but let's just see it for ourselves. And it was a complete nothingness for 2.5 hours, I think it was, or 1.5 hours.
So it wasn't even a bad movie to the point of being an entertaining bad movie. It was just nothing.
Yeah, it was.
You may as well have watched the cement wall.
Yes.
Right.
I really enjoyed that you went and saw Mighty Morbin Power Rangers with Jared Leto himself, kept it in from all of us, and now Steve's not here. Steve has no idea what's about to hit him.
Yeah, no. we gotta make sure he does listen to this podcast.
Well, this would be a good test.
It would be a good test.
Subtly drop it's Morbin time in the group chat and see what he says.
To be fair, we do that every day, and then he just realized there's a GIF of the entire movie that plays in real time.
That's excellent.
So complete nothingness for 2 hours. So let's get into that. Was there any good nothingness in it?
There's a scene where I don't remember the actor's name, but the main
Jared
villain.
Leto.
No, the villain of the movie. He was a.
Yeah,
he was
well, like some would argue that Jared Leto is the main villain. Of the movie.
Nice.
I guess.
Like on a metaphysical level.
Matt Smith. There's a scene where
Matt Smith is in that?
Yeah, he's the villain. He's the Milo, the villain in it.
Does he do a good job at least?
He does a good job with what he's given.
Okay, that makes me happy. Okay, poor Matt Smith, Jesus.
There is a scene at the beginning, like when he first starts to morb, where he kills a bunch of cops and then he just starts dancing over their dead bodies.
Please tell me that's a real term.
What?
Where he's like, he starts to morb. Please tell me that's actually a thing in the movie.
It's not.
Oh.
It was just something we were all yelling in the chat every time someone starts using their powers. We'd say they're starting to morb or they're morbing out. It's just what you have to do with this movie.
Where we morbin boys.
So he kills a bunch of cops in a subway, and he starts dancing over their dead bodies, and that's the first good part. The second good part is where after like this, it cuts from Jared Leto back to Matt Smith, and he's dancing and he's doing the same dance while getting dressed in like really nice outfits while a song is yelling "Have sex" in the background.
All I'm getting from this is that it's a mix between Spider-Man 3, where he's doing that weird dance, and the Joker. The Joker, yeah. That's wild.
Morbius wishes that the dances in its movie were as good as the Spider-Man 3 dance. That dance is iconic.
Is there anything that's straight bussin' in Morbius, though?
Absolutely not.
Sheesh!
Sheesh!
99% of the food you see in this movie is drinking blood.
Well, that's definitely suboptimal.
Definitely has nothing on Aunt May's meatloaf. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Also, the post-credit scene in this movie is the worst post-credit scene I've ever seen. It's just
Does it just say I'm sorry?
No. So there's two of them. There's the mid one where it's it has Michael Keaton just randomly dropping in from the MCU universe into this universe after what happened in No Way Home. No idea why he's getting transported here at all, but
Is this a Marvel movie?
It's a Sony. Morbius is a Marvel character, but it's the one of the ones that are owned by Sony. So yeah. They're their own universe, separate from the MCU.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So he comes in from the MCU into the Sony Marvel universe, and then it cuts away, does another bit of extra credits, and then in the second post-credit scene, it shows Jared Leto driving into the desert, and then he waits, and Michael Keaton in his full Vulture getup arrives there, and he's like, "Thank you for meeting me.
Thank you for Morbin.
Thanks for meeting me. I've been transported here. I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. We should team up." And then Jared Leto just looks into the camera and goes, "Intriguing," and then it cuts to black.
I would have waiting for who's Spider-Man?
Yeah, I first of all, how the fuck does Vulture think that this has anything to do with Spider-Man, because he just teleported through a portal into a jail cell? And second of all, Morbius doesn't know who Spider-Man is. They haven't set up Spider-Man yet in this universe.
The way that you describe that, it sounds so much as if Charlie White, Mr. Penguin Zero, Mr. Moist Critical himself, was describing a piss take of the end of Morbius, but you're telling me that's actually what happened.
That is actually the end of Morbius, yes.
It genuinely sounds like
Intriguing.
an SNL skit. It really does sound like an SNL skit, the more I think about that.
The last thing I guess I'll mention on Morbius is that does anyone remember the first trailer where they have this small joke where he's beating someone up and they ask who he is, and he like makes the Morbin face yelling, "I'm Venom," scares them, and then he pats them on the face and goes, "I'm kidding, my name's Michael Morbius."
I'm going to stop you there. I don't think anyone's seen the trailers, but...
Well, Patrick just said vaguely. They cut out the part where he makes it a joke by saying, "I'm kidding, I'm Michael Morbius." So they just have the part where he scares him by going, "I'm Venom," and then the guy runs off. I have no idea why they cut that out, but the one attempt that they had at a joke is gone.
I mean, if that was...
I don't know,
if he
the
says,
attempt of a
Venom,
joke that is
then obviously
Morbius as the
Spider-Man
entire
exists.
movie is still a pretty good joke.
Oh, this is part of the same universe as the new Venom movies.
But doesn't Spider-Man exist in that?
Not yet.
No. Like
canonically, doesn't Venom come after Spider-Man in most of them?
In most stories, yes, but these movies got set up before a Spider-Man for this universe did.
Well, you're thinking of the Spider-Man 3 approach. We don't do that here.
Okay. How dare I? Sorry.
Take
I'll
Aunt May's
quietly
meatloaf
alone.
and go elsewhere, good sir.
For real.
Seth. Every fucking time. So, Seth, I have a question for you. Do you think Morbius is one of the films of all time?
It is definitely one of the films of all time.
Interesting.
Made $1 more billion.
Yeah, do you think it was worth do you think it's worth part of the $342 more billion it's made at box office?
We're gonna stop. We're gonna die.
342 million. That seems a bit high, wasn't it? 84,000 in its second run.
on the first Friday. Yeah, it was 84,000 for the box office total across the entire fucking world.
I don't know if we mentioned that last week, but yeah, they brought back Morbius into theaters because all the memes were like, I guess it made some heads at Sony think, oh, people are enjoying it now.
People will watch it this time for the meme, right?
they'll watch it this time, right? People like it, right? It's like, no, we're laughing at you, not with you. And it absolutely tanks, and it's probably cost Sony millions of dollars for doing that, which is hilarious.
The piece that I hate the most is that it's still, regardless of all the memes, still pulled in so much more money than something like Everything Everywhere All at Once, and man, so much of a better film just got absolutely just ankles broken as a result of this meme of a movie taking its spotlight.
It also had a lot smaller of a budget though, so like making money compared to what Morbius did. Like, comparatively percent-wise, I'm sure it's grossing a lot higher.
I don't think Everything Everywhere All at Once made $342 billion, Josh.
Yeah, but if you're looking at, like gross percent in profit, it probably made more compared to its budget.
Reminder that the Emoji Movie, in percentage, made more than Spider-Verse did.
Stop doing this.
That must have made at least $400 billion.
I'm glad guns are illegal in Australia, or I'm going to shoot myself. Good God. Oh.
So I have to ask, Saif, what would you rate this film of all time out of 10?
Morbius out of 10. It's Morbin time.
Perfect. Its own scale.
I really don't have anything more to add to that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for enduring that for the rest of us.
You're welcome. I hope everyone else watches Morbius now because of me.
I hope they don't, for their sakes.
They're about to get $84,001. Cool. Josh, album of the week. What is it?
So, I couldn't think of a good album to do. So, I was like, all right, well, what can I pull out of my ass at the last second, right? And I was like, well...
Standard. Yep.
Yeah, standard me.
You had a whole 2 weeks to set this up.
I honestly, I had one planned and I forgot it, and I lost the little note thing because I had to reset my thing on my phone that I use as the apps. So I lost my notes of I had like 6 weeks planned out. But anyway, so I was like, okay, well, what's a good soundtrack that I can talk about that's a meme about half an hour before we started? And I decided that I'm gonna choose the Shrek soundtrack. No, the Shrek soundtrack.
I was expecting the 30 Seconds to Mars. What's the one with the kill on it?
I don't know. I listened to like one song when I was 16 by them, and I haven't listened to them since.
I've listened to 2 songs, so that's double.
Shrek soundtrack goes pretty hard though.
Shrek soundtrack goes absolutely hard. It's so great. There's not a bad song on that soundtrack.
There is a time and place for Hallelujah. That's all I'll say.
Hallelujah is one of my all-time favorite songs, but it definitely has its times and places. I will admit.
I just mean when you're coming down from like Accidentally in Love is Shrek 1, right? Or is that Shrek 2? That's Shrek 1.
Accidentally in Love is Shrek 2.
Is it?
Yes, Counting Crows, Shrek 2. Yeah. Actually, let me look up the track list. It's I'm on the Wikipedia page.
This is your segment. You tell me.
No, it's definitely Shrek 2. So
Accidentally in Love is Shrek 2's soundtrack.
It is Shrek 2, yeah. So it's Stay Home, then I'm a Believer.
I'm a Believer is so good.
I'm a Believer. Smash Mouth in general are so underrated. Anyway, It Is You I Have Loved, Best Years of Our Lives, Bad Reputation, My Beloved Monster, You Belong to Me, All Star, Hallelujah, I'm On My Way, I'm a Believer, and True Love's First Kiss. And the I'm a Believer version is Eddie Murphy right before he slapped Old Mate.
That was Will Smith.
That was Will Smith, wasn't it? Why am I getting confused?
God, all black people look the same to you, don't they?
No, they're just comedians that also sing. Wait, is Will Smith? Did Will Smith do comedy, right? I think he did stand-up comedy.
Yeah, Will Smith did comedy. Yeah. He did The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, that wasn't funny though. No, it was all right. It was pretty funny.
While we're on the topic of Shrek soundtrack, so the fairy godmother singing God, what's the song?
She sings I Need a Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The fairy godmother singing that is such a good song. Like she killed it.
It's so good. She absolutely killed it. And like the fact that someone animated that, one, it would hurt me listening to the song to be able to put it in order that many times, like to actually animate it correctly. And whoever did that, I feel so sorry for them. And second, like, holy shit, brilliant.
I feel like they
absolute
had so
masterpiece.
I feel like they had so much more fun animating on Shrek 2 since it was a much bigger thing. Apparently, when they were doing Shrek 1, people would be taken off other projects and sent to Shrek as punishment.
As punishment, yeah. And it became the bigger film.
They were taken off. They were taken off. Not
there was
Arabian
another movie
Nights.
that wasn't popular.
It's Prince of Egypt, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was Prince of Egypt, yeah.
That's the one.
And then they got sent to like the Shrek dungeon, and the Shrek turned out to be a much better film.
Everyone called the process of being sent to the Shrek dungeon as being Shreked.
It's just like, honestly, 10 out of 10.
And you walk in there and it's Mike Myers in the voice booth going, "It's Morbin time," and you're like, "I don't get that reference yet." And he just stares at you dead ass in the eyes and goes, "You will."
This line is 20 years in the making.
You might not understand it, but your kids are gonna love it.
It came like around the time the Pentaveret was coming out, which is something else I watched. Another Mike Myers thing. He came out and said that he loves doing Shrek projects and he'd be happy to do Shrek once a year.
Yeah, that's right. That was part of one of the interviews he did for that.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Honestly, I can kind of see it. He does seem to like really enjoy doing the role.
It's definitely a him role.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone else doing it, to be honest. Right, so fun facts about it. It peaked at number 1 on the US soundtracks board and number 2 on the ARIA charts in Australia.
Nice, well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely well deserved. So yeah, that's that.
Fun. What's your favorite song on that album, Josh?
I don't think I could choose a favorite song, but if I had to, it would probably be Hallelujah.
But what if somebody once told me that the world was going to roll me, and the only way to stop that from happening was for you to pick the correct favorite song on the album?
I can't. Hallelujah has a very special place in my heart, so I think I have to say Hallelujah. What about you guys?
Well, that's fair. I will have to go with All Star. Like just the 1 second of Psalm, and it's gone.
And him slamming open the outhouse door.
Yeah. Just that one frame. I'm done. I absolutely love it.
It's absolutely excellent. Like, I don't think I could choose a favorite for that exact reason. There's just both of those are just amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I as you probably figured out, I assumed that Accidentally in Love was Shrek 1, not Shrek 2, but that's probably my favorite song from that soundtrack.
Right, now what about from the correct soundtrack, Patrick?
All Star, definitely up there. I don't know, it's like, I think Shrek 1, it's kind of like a mood-based thing. Like, I think de facto, All Star Smash Mouth, definitely top, but there'll be moments when it's like, you know what, I'm actually kind of vibing On My Way right now. You know what I mean?
Yep. Or even like Bad Reputation, if you're like, it slaps. It goes real hard. Especially that wrestling scene in the movie. 10 out of 10.
And I'm a Believer is always great as well. Another Smash Mouth classic.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, well, that's album of the week.
Cool.
Do you want to keep it movie-based, Patrick, and go on to Top Gun?
Why not?
That's a Pokemon.
True. Let's talk about that.
Shout
out to Why Not? I went and saw Top Gun Maverick. I went with a bunch of people from work today, just before recording this, which was cool. And so this was like an agreed upon thing like 2 or 3 weeks ago now. But my parents were up and they were like, "Oh, while we're here, why don't we see it in IMAX?" And they'd also already seen it, so I think everyone in my family has now seen this movie twice.
Was it worth watching twice?
So this one, it kind of depends on where you're coming at this from, right? So my dad's favorite film of all time, I'm pretty sure, is Top Gun. So I've seen this film way too many times. Like, I can't give you a figure, but it's like whatever number you're thinking of, it's probably that, and then maybe a bit more.
I was thinking
just
72.
Okay, that's kind of high, but like for the sake of argument, let's just keep it. Yeah, sure, 72. Let's just round it up to an even 100, shall we?
Why don't we say 27 because that's the episode number?
Yeah, well, there we go. But I now enjoy watching Top Gun, but I don't know if it's because I myself came to that conclusion
syndrome.
or I got Stockholmed into it by my parents. So naturally, when Top Gun Maverick came out and I saw it in IMAX, I went, this is also this is also now a super excellent film that I really, really enjoy. And I think in Maverick's case, it is a super fun film to enjoy. But I don't know if that's because I enjoyed Top Gun so much because of the Stockholm thing. So if you didn't enjoy Top Gun 1, I don't think Maverick is going to suddenly make you go, oh, wow, Top Gun's amazing. However, if you even had a passing enjoyment of Top Gun 1, you will really like Top Gun Maverick. I think as a film is actually better than the first one, which I've heard is an opinion shared by a few people. It's not going to win Oscars for like crazy deep story or anything. It's still a very America first. It's basically a 2-hour promo for joining the Navy.
Yeah, I just imagine Top Gun as like being a very good popcorn movie. It's not going to win many awards unless it's like specifically in certain genres, but not like Best Picture or anything. It's just something you sit down and kind of like enjoy like a summer blockbuster.
See, I think it might actually be in with a shot at something like Best Picture because even though the storytelling and the drama isn't all there, the amount of work that they did to kind of make it a complete package, it's actually like it's got massively high production value. Like so much of what's in that film is just straight up what they filmed in real life. And I've seen it twice now, and that's still crazy to me. Like there is a scene where when a fighter jet has to climb up steeply and then dive steeply, it will invert at the top and then climb and then sort of like fly upside down to dive. And so the shot, like one of the shots of one of the actors doing that is them with a strap that's slightly too loose, and so they slam their head on the roof of the cockpit. And so the actor at the time, because I ended up just seeing a bunch of sort of behind the scenes stuff because it was super interesting to me. So the actor at the time was like, oh man, there's no way we can use that take. And that's the one that they ended up using because it was so authentic that, that's not faked. That was him actually just almost falling out of his seat when he was upside down in a fighter jet.
That shit's insane to me. Like, yeah, so much of it was like filmed like on actual planes and so many actual stunts done. It's like that's got to take up so much of the budget to teach the actors how to do that. Yeah, well, that's the thing is that they had to go through a rigorous 3-month preparation course to even just be allowed near the planes. Just because if anything were to happen, there's so much extra stuff that you just need to be able to do or need to know how to do, for your safety. Which I don't know. Say what you will about Tom Cruise, but my God, that man is dedicated. I don't think I'll ever be a member of Scientology, but if it continues churning out excellent films, keep being you, Tom. Fucking crazy what he gets up to. I think he actually looks better in this one than he did in the first one. Jesus,
like he hasn't aged. he's aged backwards, and then Val Kilmer, by comparison, just looks so much older, and that's partially because he had some health issues, like he recovered from throat cancer, which that's a struggle in and of itself. Actually, speaking of that, something that I feel kind of bad about this, but I'm getting a little bit sick of movies doing like close-ups on phones when they're doing a text message back and forth between characters, because generally that's the only thing that's happening, and you're basically just looking at, it's not even looking at a subtitled film, you're just looking at subtitles for a few seconds because there's nothing else happening on screen. It's just the message list. And so Top Gun does this a little bit in Maverick. And so at the time I was like, oh, that's, seems a little bit crutchy in terms of plot device and stuff. And so that whole exchange is between Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer, keeping this fairly
because he couldn't talk properly. Oh my God,
spoiler light. Yeah, but that's the thing. And so he goes to meet Val Kilmer, and Val Kilmer is still typing, but he actually does speak in the movie. And so I went, oh well, if he can speak, I get that it's painful and everything, but I still I'm not 100% on board as to why they put so much more emphasis on the text message when it wasn't really clear to me what the link was, other than he was in Top Gun 1 for why he was such a big character in Top Gun Maverick. And then I found out that part of his recovery from throat cancer was that it irreparably damaged his voice, and he speaks with an assisted voice box. And so then I went, okay, that makes a bit more sense. And then I found out that they actually went further than that, and they did a whole bunch of whatever the audio equivalent of deepfake is, where him speaking in Top Gun Maverick is as close as they can get to what he would sound like if he was speaking unassisted, because he cannot sound like he does in Top Gun Maverick in real life anymore, just because of the throat cancer and the health issues. So that just put it on an entirely another level of, holy shit, like they did everything sort of as, what's the word? Not necessarily as authentic, but like all of the stunts are real. All of this was done like they spared no expense to tell the story that they wanted to tell. And having now seen it twice and appreciating all the bits of it that I sort of missed the first time and things, it's like, oh man, they fucking nailed this.
Okay, so for someone that hasn't seen the first movie, could you watch it?
You can, because there are two carrying over plot points from the first one. The major one being that in the first one, I'm going to spoil a film that came out in 1986. Be careful.
Oh no, I was going to watch it.
Yeah. Tom Cruise's wingman dies in a training accident, and it's made a big deal of
smelting accident, right?
What?
Sorry, I was making an Austin Powers joke.
Okay.
I didn't get it at all.
Mike Myers was the topic before, and it's just like, okay, now I've got Mike Myers jokes on the brain.
I was
it's
wondering.
Only a joke if people laugh.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was an Austin Powers reference. I was thinking like, I swear that's not right.
It's Goldmember.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So his wingman dies in a training accident. And so it's made a big deal of in Top Gun 1, and it's very sad and everything. And so in Top Gun 2, one of the main characters is Goose's son, like call sign Goose. I don't remember his actual name, but so now he's in the Navy and interacting with Tom Cruise and stuff. And so the major lingering carryover plot point is that
you killed my dad.
Basically that.
Yeah. it's always the plot point in these movies.
Yeah, exactly. And so they actually do it. I think they do it quite nicely in how they bring it up again, because they don't do it as beating you over the head. Here's what you missed. It's more of like Tom Cruise is sad at this moment, and we're going to intercut him looking sad with flashbacks of why he's sad. And you're like, okay, doesn't take a genius to figure, to figure all of the little intricacies out. Other than that, no, you could probably just start with Top Gun Maverick, and I don't think you'd be missing anything. It's basically just Val Kilmer's back, who was the main antagonist in 1. Goose's son is there, who was from 1. I think that's basically it. And the rest of it is just, some carryover characters, but the rest of it, it's fairly doing its own thing, which is super cool. There are some quite funny moments though of in Top Gun, it's all about like dogfighting, right? This is sort of the last point I'll say on it, but it's funny when it's like you watch it and you enjoy it, and then you sort of think about it like later on, and you're like, in hindsight, that actually is kind of weird. where it's stuff like in the moment you're just enjoying a good popcorn movie, and so part of the elite dogfighting school that Top Gun is, the big finale of Top Gun 1 is this big dogfight between Tom Cruise and a bunch of enemies, and here it's kind of similar, where the enemy is an unnamed country that's trying to enrich uranium in an underground bunker. You're welcome to pretend to know which country that may or may not be being talked about.
Yes, I wonder.
But what's really funny is that the underground bunker is in a snowy mountain, and they make a big deal about these 5th generation fighter planes as being part of the difficulty in getting here, right? And that's fine, right? Like 5th generation is kind of the equivalent of the F-35 program, huge amounts of money, huge amounts of super high tech and stuff. But I think there was this moment where they decided we should probably make the planes look distinctive because we can't just have them all as like regular gray planes. So we have the like good guys in regular gray planes because, you know, that looks like every American carrier that you've ever seen, just with fighter jets on it. But the bad guys, it's like, here we have 5th generation fighters that are capable of doing multiple times the speed of sound, stealth technology, all this other stuff. Yeah. Let's paint them camo green.
Camo green. Okay.
And this is against the backdrop of snow. And it's like, yes, they're distinctive. I give it that. But also, why? And even further to that, the idea that, you know, you're just some unnamed bad guy who never speaks and just has a very, very, very dark tinted helmet. So you could just be some faceless baddie. You know, you're just going to work at your local airbase one day. And then, so you get a call. There's an enemy at the gates. You're like, oh, this is weird. We've been completely untouched until now. Better get in my multi-million-dollar jet and go and deal with the threat. And then you just get fucking taken down by Tom Cruise, by Tom Cruise and the Funny Bunch in some technologically inferior planes. Like, that's just gotta suck. Like, on like an ego level, you get to the pearly gates or hell, depending on, you know, whether your allegiances are with people that illegally enrich uranium. And you get there and you're like, man, really sucked that I died there, huh?
What I think is funnier is the decision that they're like Snowy Mountain, and the bad guys that lived and the planes stored in that mountain were like green.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's just like here come the bad guys. You know they're the bad guys because their planes are camo green.
Yeah, because they're camoed for the complete wrong part of the country.
Yeah, that's the one.
Rightio.
I have one question about it, about like the viewing experience. I heard that this movie is like extremely good watching it as a theater movie, and since you watch it in IMAX, I was just wondering what you'd have to say about that.
I somewhat controversially don't actually like the IMAX theater that we have available. So it's the only IMAX theater in New Zealand. So it's kind of old, and I think it sort of rests on being the only IMAX theater in New Zealand. So that compared to, so the first time I saw it was in that IMAX theater, and it's like a fairly old theater now, very steep like viewing, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the seats are stacked like almost vertically, like with how many there are to match the height of the screen. The second time I just saw it in a new high quality, like in like a new premium cinema. And I think I enjoyed it in the new premium cinema even more because, for one, the speakers weren't like kill your eardrums loud, and two, the seats were just kind of nicer. So I think it's definitely a film you want to see in cinemas, but it's not one that you have to go shell out for IMAX, unless you have a nice IMAX. But I would much rather watch it in the premium cinema that I saw it in a third time compared to IMAX the second time.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I'd rather go see something in gold class or whatever with the really comfy seats and lay back that are spread apart than sit in IMAX.
That's basically what I saw it in today. And yeah, excellent time. There was actually a cool moment too in that. So Maverick, it's been finished basically as a film for a few years now, but they've just had to delay it from COVID and other bits and pieces. So they've been looking for the right release window for it. And at the start of, weirdly, not the start of the IMAX one, the start of just watching it in premium. So I think it's something to do with the format of the film. But it's just Tom Cruise on like a chair, and he's like, "Hey, you're about to watch Top Gun Maverick. I'm super proud of it. You know, a lot of the stunts and G-forces and jet fighters and stuff you see are real. Please enjoy this film. You know, it was a huge amount of effort from all the team, and we made it for you." And it was just, I don't know, it was just kind of, it was like a nice, it's not an afterthought, but it was just nice that they did that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty Morbin of them.
Okay, thanks for tanking the nice moment.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
But yeah, I would give it a solid like 10 out of 10 as a film for me. Like it's checks all the boxes that I like in a film. So,
and this man didn't like Multiverse of Madness.
Yep, still a shit film. I stand by that.
So should we move on to actual games?
We can try.
Saif?
Ace Attorney free time?
Yeah.
Ace Attorney 3 time.
Okay, so it's been a few weeks since I last picked this up, but I decided that instead of starting the last chapter over again, I was just going to keep continuing on from where I was, and that was a fine decision on my side because I basically remembered everything that happened up to that point, and things just started escalating more and more. Like the first basically third of that chapter I had done before was pretty slow and just set up, and then I was getting hit with payoff after payoff after payoff for the next like 4 hours I was reading this story. But to get into Ace Attorney 3 proper, because I don't think I ever actually talked about it.
No, you rumored it for like 5 weeks and then nothing happened.
I think I was like, I'm playing it, I'll talk about it in full when I finish it. So there's like Ace Attorney 1, there's 5 chapters in this one. All of them are like original. So this, back when this was originally released, this would have been the longest of the games. And it goes for wanting to do a narrative that kind of follows through the entire game rather than what Ace Attorney 1 and 2 did, where they had like bigger moments every now and then. So it starts off with like the tutorial level sets up this character Dahlia Hawthorne, who is dating Phoenix Wright, and this tutorial is placed in the past. So you're playing as Phoenix Wright's mentor, Mia Fey, when she's doing her first case. Her first real case, because the first one gets done later on again. But so instead of giving Phoenix Wright amnesia for a second time, they opted to go back in time for the tutorial this time to teach people how to play the game. And this first case is Dahlia Hawthorne is kind of setting up Phoenix Wright to take the fall for a murder case. I won't say too much about how that plays out, but Phoenix Wright is kind of a little shit in this one. Like he's very much blinded by love for this girl, and she's using her good looks and pretty smile to win over everyone. And the only
does that mean that he treats? So would you say that the Phoenix Wright treats women as objects or as objections?
No, he's like smitten with her.
I appreciate it. Don't worry, I appreciated the joke.
Yeah, the joke went right over my head.
I have a question for you, because I haven't played Ace Attorney and I've not seen any gameplay or anything. Does it ever actually take place outside of the courtroom?
Yes.
Okay, that makes the story more engaging.
Yeah, there's the games are basically split between courtroom dramas and then investigations where you're like going around the murder scenes and kind of small areas of the city to just kind of piece together what's happened, or at least pick up clues and then piece together what happened inside the courtroom.
And they're all like VN style, right?
Yeah, they're fully VN style with like little bits of click on the map to interact.
Okay.
So yeah, the first chapter, I won't go into like what happens in them. I'll just move on like a brief summary of all of them, a brief overview. So Phoenix is being put on trial for murder, and the only witness that can try and get him out of it is his girlfriend at the time, and she's very heavily trying to get him to take the fall. Second chapter is actually, what was the second chapter? This one it's continues
Phoenix Wright is the second chapter. Phoenix Wright investigates the death penalty.
No, Phoenix Wright is investigating a museum heist, and this one's actually pretty fun because the defendant is very heavily trying to convince everyone that he is the thief, but he didn't steal anything that night. Like, so he's being set up to take the fall by a mimic thief, and there's a lot of fun characters. Like there's one of the witnesses for this case is called Luke Atme, and he's a detective that wants to be the number one detective.
Excellent name.
You also get introduced to Prosecutor Godo, who is probably my favorite character in this trilogy. He's fantastic. He's just an attorney that has an addiction to coffee.
So all attorneys, yes.
Yeah. And so that one's just a smaller, fun one. Then chapter 3 is it starts off with Phoenix Wright losing losing a case, and it's like the first time you ever see him lose a case outside of a possible ending in an earlier game. So you're just kind of trying to piece together what happened, and it turns out someone like went into the courthouse with he looks like a Phoenix Wright, but he's got completely red skin, and he's also got a bad Boston accent. So he just kind of like put on a blue suit, put on a cardboard attorney's badge, and pretended to be Phoenix Wright to make sure that someone got a guilty sentence. And so this whole chapter is around trying to overturn that guilty sentence because the case originally went off with like not having a proper lawyer in place, and it's also trying to figure out, well, who was the person that was pretending to be Phoenix Wright, and that one was also kind of a slower one, but also really fun because of the person that is pretending to be Phoenix Wright. Little bit of a tug at the collar moment though is that it's got a very stereotypical French gay man as one of the key witnesses.
Pepe Le Pew?
The guy from Dragon Quest XI?
No, Dragon Quest XI does it very
Bon
well.
Voyage
People
from The
love
Incredibles
Sylvando.
1?
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant did it well.
No, this is the bad representation.
Oh, that's a shame. I love Sylvando. He's great.
Sylvando is fantastic. So case 4 goes back to the main plot with Dahlia Hawthorne and Mia Fey. This one is set up like the tutorial level where it's just courtroom stuff again. But this is Mia's actual first ever case, and she's a nervous wreck because she's got to defend a death row convict who's being
Why would you accept that as your first case?
Because I don't remember why. I think it was she had a very bad feeling about something and wanted to make sure she got to the bottom of it and found out the truth of the situation. And she was very close to doing it until shit happens at the end, and it sets her into like a year-long spiral of trying to make sure that Dahlia Hawthorne gets what's coming to her, which is what happened, leads back into the tutorial case. And then the final one is the massive case where Phoenix, Maya Fey, and Pearl Fey go on a vacation to the mountains because Pearl put in a booking for Maya to do some temple training, and while they're on vacation, someone gets murdered there. Maya gets trapped on a isolated island, and the whole reason that Phoenix decided to go onto this case is because one of the nuns there looks like Dahlia Hawthorne, and he wants to figure out what's going on. There's an obvious they recognize each other, but she's not letting on about her past, or rather, everything she says about her past doesn't make sense with what we know and what's been established in the story already. And it's a extremely long case that like starts answering all the questions that were laid out in cases 1 and cases 4, ties together things that ran across the entire trilogy, brings in a ton of characters from across the trilogy, and it's just a very good way to end out this series, which I played through all of these like back to back to back. Absolutely loved every moment of playing these games.
Did you get the good ending or the bad ending?
I believe there's only a good ending in Ace Attorney 3.
Well, the bad ending is that it makes you watch Morbius, so I guess you got the good ending then.
Yeah, definitely.
Close though.
Yeah, I think the only game that has a good or bad ending is Ace Attorney 2, and even then it's like you just get an ending and you can choose for it to either be a good or bad depending on your outlook of how the justice system should work.
Last of Us 2, don't you?
Much better than The Last of Us 2. Actually, while thinking of that, I also, while I was playing through this the last case for Ace Attorney 3, I was like, wait a second, this is just a story about the cycle of violence, but it's done very well. Unlike The Last of Us 2.
Josh take. Last of Us 2 is excellent.
So if Phoenix Wright was in Last of Us 2, would he replace Joel or Ellie?
Oh.
If he's replacing Joel, he's not there for long.
You did it. You solved the mystery. You get a golf club as your prize.
Oh boy, I love golf. Oh no.
So Phoenix Wright would probably be Ellie, and that's because Godo is 100% Abby. And Godo is the prosecutor across all of the cases in this game.
I don't know,
Does
man.
it ever tell you what the opposite of defendant is?
Yeah, prosecutor.
No, I mean, well, like, defendant means to defend, so I assume the opposite is either offendant or attackant.
No, it's prosecute.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Okay.
I'll take the game's lexicon over yours.
I've seen like 8 seasons of Suits. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
just
that hurts to even say.
Side point, real quickly though. Suits is like a banger of a show through like early to mid seasons, but so much of the shit in the last couple seasons could have been sorted with an email.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but the first like 5 seasons were fucking awesome.
Oh, they're
maybe
excellent.
4, maybe 4.
And then it's just like, why don't we have Harry not read emails and have Lewis not read emails, and then they fight each other?
Why? Because Mike doesn't want to be here anymore, and now one of them's a literal princess.
God, that's such a weird reason to write a character off. Like, oh yeah, she's a princess now.
She's a literal princess, so she can't be acting in our show anymore.
It's a whole thing.
God, that'd be such a hard thing to like explain to your writing staff. Like, sorry, you have to rewrite the rest of the script that you've written. Why? Oh, she's suddenly a princess. You'd be like, I don't believe you.
No, she's actual royalty.
Having played Ace Attorney 1 through 3, do you feel comfortable in a court of law when all of those traffic tickets that you haven't been paying for eventually come back to bite you in the ass?
Definitely, I'll just hire Phoenix Wright. He'll get me out of it.
What do you think his going rate would be?
Not much, because he's always poor. He's always out of money.
Oh wow, you might be in with a shot.
Yeah, definitely. I think I can afford his rates. But also remember way back when I was like, I'm not going to give Ace Attorney 1 a 10 out of 10 just in case 2 or 3 is the 10 out of 10 I need.
Yeah, like 3's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 3's a 10 out of 10.
Ooh, there it is. There it is.
It would have probably been a 9 tied with Ace Attorney 1, but there is a very big moment in the game where slightly spoiling a 20-year-old game here. As at the final time you do a turnabout on Godo. So every game has had a different turnabout theme, and end out the game's final turnabout, instead of doing the Ace Attorney 3 theme, they go back and do the original Ace Attorney 1 theme, and I popped out of my chair as soon as that happened.
So what you're telling me is Ace Attorney 1 was excellent, Ace Attorney 2 was like, and then Ace Attorney 3, he became a phoenix and rose from the ashes.
Ace Attorney 2 is excellent, but they decided to go to the circus in the middle of it, and that pulled it down a little bit.
Okay.
Like, all 3 games are excellent, it's just that 2's filler section hurt it really badly.
Right. Fair enough. Thank you for that, Saif. That means that we are finished with Round the Lounge for this week. Thank you to to Josh and Saif for sharing, and that means that we get to move on to part 2 for this week, which is, of course, the news. After a short break.
I don't even think I have a favorite character in Family Guy. I think it would probably have to be Brian, actually.
I fucking hate Brian.
Do you? I really love Brian.
Of course, it's fucking Brian.
I really like Brian. I think he's hilarious.
It says a lot about a person when their favorite character is Brian.
So true.
Brian, what the fuck? Why am I suddenly being attacked?
Because you're a Brian fan.
Fuck.
I'm so glad we're recording this. This is the mid-segment bit right here. There's a great, it's an episode where Brian's trying to make amends with Quagmire, and they're just having dinner, and Quagmire, I don't know why the writers decided to do this.
He just
for
digs into
a minute.
Brian.
Yeah.
It
Rips into him.
It completely like removes everything Brian is as a character in 1 minute, and ever since then I was like, you know what? Quagmire's right. What the fuck
Brian.
do I say? Yeah. Well, I'm not necessarily on board with Quagmire, but I can appreciate where he's coming from, you know? Anyway, that means we get to move on to part 2 for this week, which is, of course, the news. And we have quite a bit of news at that. Why don't we do the Sonic Power, I don't know, hour? What do we measure? What do we measure Sonic in terms of unit time?
In fast.
In fast? Let's try and cap all the Sonic news in 2 or 3 fasts. Starting off with Sonic Frontiers combat gameplay, courtesy of a YouTube video from IGN. I realized I said courtesy of, and Steve got really upset at that. But you know what? Fuck him. He's not here.
Oh, no. He was booing the Sonic combat.
Anyway.
I was saying boo earns.
Yeah, so, have you both seen this?
I have.
I've seen it twice. It wasn't any better the second time.
I've seen it more than twice. It gets worse every repeat.
My question for the group is why Sonic Frontiers devs thought that an open world game should have a combat mechanic similar to Pokemon Ranger on the DS.
Oh my god, that's such a great comparison.
Is it the spinning around in a loop?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Because to me, it looks like nights where you do a power loop and anything inside the loop gets either gets collected if it's a collectible or dies if it's an enemy.
Pokemon Ranger.
Sure. Yeah. Pokemon Ranger. You know what? I'm with Josh on this one. Didn't think I'd say that. Yeah, this does not excite me at all.
This does not spark joy. Mary Kondo, we need you.
I think the worst part for me is that all the enemies
trash.
just look too tanky. Like, they take forever to kill, even when Sonic's spamming special moves at them.
They look like actual tanks.
I just don't get why he doesn't just get his final smash and then just zip all over the screen.
You don't unlock that until you get the Chaos Emeralds or get the Smash Ball. Obviously.
Golden Sonic is called Super Sonic, right?
Yeah, Super Sonic.
Is that why I'm so confused after watching this video?
I will say though, I like the one special attack he does where he's just kind of like throwing out a flurry of kicks and it sends out a bunch of projectiles in a straight line at things. That's kind of cool.
I think the attacks themselves were flashy and interesting, but none of it looks fun.
Yeah, one of them is really weird in that Sonic goes flying back like 5 miles to do a trick and then zooms back into the enemy, like he'll do like a diving kick or a bunch of rapid movements, and they look really weird.
One of them's an ollie, one of them's a kickflip.
Pop shove it on a hedgehog. Yeah, no, I know what you mean, Saif, in terms of things just seem too tanky. I think that's probably going to be the thing that kills this the most, because like it doesn't look particularly difficult. It just looks like it takes ages, which, again, in line with what I was saying is a big complaint of what I've seen in Frontiers from last week. This is a game about speed, but so many of the mechanics they've given you are all about slowing down / stopping and just spending ages in like a 5 meter by 5 meter square.
And you're gonna have to kill these enemies because after this, IGN did a preview video where they talked pretty positively about their time with the game. They seem to enjoy it, but they mentioned that there's that killing enemies drops XP, and you use that XP to level up skill trees with Sonic, which Oh, that sounds bad and tedious.
Well, it's good that you mentioned that because there's actually a microtransaction that you can do that increases your progression.
Sega, no, don't.
Sega's in the background going, Sega, yes.
Could you imagine what a Sonic Battle Pass would even look like?
I would hope you progress fast.
The entire thing is just about your maximum speed.
But what if it's a speedo and you got to go up in speed? That'd be sick, actually.
But seeing
it's
Sonic,
just a design perspective.
Seeing Sonic Frontiers, it wouldn't go fast at all.
No,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. You start at 1 fast per hour.
Also, they show off a boss fight in this where Sonic has to climb up its arms and using speed pads. Both in the combat video and in the IGN preview, they showed a lot of this boss fight going really roughly. Like Sonic does not get a good stance on the, going up the arm, and he just flings off it every now and then. And there was one part where you either the boss drops the blue and red panels. The blue ones speed you up to go up the arm, and the red ones deflect you backwards. If you're going fast enough from the blue ones and then you run into a red one, it just sends you flying off the boss, and it looks really bad and weird.
Can't wait. Do you want to speak about any other highlights that were in the IGN hands-on video, or
there wasn't much in the IGN hands-on video that was new. It was just the guy at IGN talking about his impressions playing the game. And he was very positive about the game. Like, he seems to enjoy it quite a bit and, like, enjoyed what he was doing in the game, which is weird.
IGN gives an average game 7 out of 10. Let's not get our hopes up here.
Yeah.
7.8 out of 10. Too much fast.
Too much speed.
Too much speed.
It's just weird because everything about this, like, watching the footage that Sega gave them to show off, just is not the antithesis of fun, pretty much. For
some reason, like, because you're right, it is the same footage every time. But every time Sonic grinds that circular rail, and the camera just cuts to the middle under the bridge, and you just watch Spyro. You just watch Sonic circle, and then the camera cuts back out again. Every time I see him on that rail, I'm just bracing for that camera cut.
Yeah, that camera cut's pretty harsh.
Well, continuing the Sonic news, we had Sonic Central. I didn't watch this. Saif, you thought about watching this.
It was a waste of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I will run down a quick list of everything they announced. It was all terrible, and most of it was merchandise. So at the beginning they showed a trailer for Sonic Origins to remind everyone that's coming out in June 23. By the time you hit the end of that trailer, it's been 3 minutes already. Then
cool.
They show a small trailer for Sonic Speed Simulator, which is something that's in Roblox, and they give you a promo code to unlock an Amy Chow. Sorry, you were going to say something, Patrick?
No, I'm so enthralled by what I'm hearing. I please tell me more. Can't wait.
For Sonic mobile games, they announced that Super Shadow and Memphis, Tennessee are going to be coming to Sonic Forces mobile game later this year. They're also doing Sir Percival, which is Blaze the Cat in European Armor, is coming to Sonic Dash and Sonic Dash Plus later this year. There was a 30-second trailer for Sonic Prime that shows that Shadow will be in the show. A trailer that went on for much longer than it needed to, saying that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie is going to be coming to Blu-ray August 19. Then we hit the merchandise segment.
Oh boy.
We got Knuckles G Fuel cups and Knuckles G Fuel flavors. They're
finally
they're called Sour Power.
Why would you want to taste Sonic?
No, it's Knuckles. You get to taste the Knuckles.
Oh my god!
If you want a discount flavor, you can catch my hands for free.
after
that was worth the build-up.
after the Diablo Immortal segment, I think he's getting that in the mail soon.
Can't wait.
So the question is, does Knuckles G Fuel actually taste like Echidna? Or
I imagine they're going to go for a grape flavor because grapes.
Knuckles is red.
No, it's because
but red's fast. It's a fast grape.
A small fun fact is that Knuckles' favorite food is grapes, which is why I imagine it'll be grape flavor.
So what you're telling me is Sonic's will taste like chili dogs?
They did a Sonic one before. I'm not sure what flavor it is.
Chili dogs.
chili dog G Fuel. I draw the line.
Moving on.
That's not a world I want to live in.
Moving on.
See, Sonic's one is just red cordial for the kids that get hyper, like going really fast. All right, I'm done. Moving on.
Jack Pacific is showed off an Eggman and Sonic toy. There was some posters showing that actually look pretty cool. By More Arts. A clothing line called Hype showed off some shirts and hoodies. First four figures is releasing a Tails figure and an Amy figure. The best one, Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails are getting Pez dispensers.
That sounds mortifying.
I feel like they've had these.
They have. I'm pretty
sure. Have I been living in
a
time loop? I swear to God, I've seen these in stores like 10 years ago.
Oh, a time loop. Watch out. Sonic will use that to do damage against you.
No, that's a fast loop.
Same shit.
I'm just thinking of watching Alpharad play whatever the fuck that Sonic game was, where they just kicked Tails into the Ice Age.
That was so fucking funny.
Sonic, watch out! Kunk.
Also, Knuckles just flying. All right, so we need to move on.
EXG announced a Sonic controller holder.
Sorry, what?
It's
a controller holder? They're called hands.
No, it's like a stand, but it's a stand to hold your controller in the shape of Sonic. They've done a few of these before. I've seen a Crash Bandicoot one before. I've seen a Mario one. So they're just adding Sonic to the list now.
Yeah, but Josh, if you lick the hands, they taste like Knuckles.
I'm not sure how to pronounce this one. I think it's Neem Media. They're doing a Sonic figure, and Belfine is doing a Sonic toy. The Sonic 30th Anniversary Symphony, which was an actually really good symphony. I enjoyed that quite a bit when they did that last year or earlier this year.
Pokemon one is excellent, for the record. If anyone is yet to go see it, highly recommend.
Yeah, the Sonic one is going to be doing a world tour. They're going to announce dates at a later time, but the first one they announced is going to be at the Brazil Game Show in October. Sonic and Knuckles...
Not Brazil!
The Sonic and Knuckles skins for Fall Guys are coming back now that the game's going free to play. They're going to be back for a limited time.
You know what's really funny about that? There's a shit ton of memes. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure the going meme was that red team and blue team are fine, which I'm assuming is Knuckles and Sonic. Yellow team always gets memed on, just like in Pokemon Go. And it's funny that they don't announce a Sonic character for Yellow Team.
Yeah.
Actually, just the worst.
Yeah, they never did Tails. They did Sonic and Knuckles earlier, but they had nothing for Tails. Yellow gets nothing.
The tale yet to be told.
There was a sneak peek for a Sonic Frontiers prologue animation that's going to be coming out. It was a 5-second static shot of just Knuckles standing in front of the Master Emerald. Exciting. And they
had the
Sorry, I thought
Frontier.
you said animation.
Yeah. they told us it's an animation.
My guy, you're describing a photograph.
Yeah, we just have to believe them. I guess the Master Emerald did some glowy effects. And there was a short...
The animation was the light leaving Knuckles' eyes.
Yeah. No, his eyes were closed the entire time.
That's even worse.
What if it's just a camera pan over a flat image?
It was actually a camera zoom.
Perfect. Animated. Done. Wrap it up, boys. We're done.
And finally, there was a short trailer for Sonic Frontiers showing a small boss fight against a dragon-type creature, which was kind of cool because it's leaving behind the trail effects, and to catch up to the main body, Sonic is running on the trails it's leaving behind.
Well, I'm not too much of a scientist myself, but I can't help but feel like a dragon that leaves a speed-boosting trail behind it probably isn't great for its evolutionary prospects. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
That's why all the dragons are extinct today.
Because Sonic played Pokemon Rancher with them.
Moving on from Sonic, we got Spark the Electric Jester 3 was announced. They showed off a...
I was so confused. Can someone tell me what the fuck Spark the Electric Jester is? Because the fact that there's a third one, I didn't even know there were two.
I was going to get into that because I figured you guys didn't know about this.
Why does he look like MS Paint Pac-Man?
So Spark the Electric Jester is a game made by a team now, but the main guy that runs the team.
Wait, multiple people worked on this.
Yes.
Are you sure?
God.
It's a small like indie studio, but the main guy that runs the team, he was a Sonic fan game maker, and he made Sonic before and Sonic
You
after
said
the
there
sequel.
was no more Sonic news. What the fuck is this?
I said moving on from Sonic news, but I'm putting this in here because this is really funny to me, in a sense that I'll get to it when I get to it. Stop interrupting me. Yeah, the guy was a Sonic fan game maker that made Sonic before the sequel and Sonic after the sequel, and then he's decided I'm going to make my own IP, Spark the Electric Jester, so I can sell games and make money off doing game development. And Spark 1 and Spark 2 aren't things that I've looked into majorly. They seem fine and fun. But I wanted to bring this up because the trailer for Spark 3 looks so much better than anything Sonic Frontiers did. And this
Visually,
is like the
or?
gameplay. But I guess visually a little bit. I kind of like this cartoony aesthetic more than what Sonic Frontiers is going for.
Cartoony. It looks like someone did an animation in like 2007 using paint.
And that's
I
still
think-
more appealing than Sonic Frontiers.
I think Sonic
Having-
Frontiers visually is quite interesting.
Having seen the full gameplay trailer, I think I can get into the art style a little bit more now, but to see just still images from the trailer, it's like, and this is a current gen game?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, it does look kind of fun.
it's a very
the
small
gameplay
team.
does look good.
What a record. But yeah, it looks like it looks fun to play, and it's basically the type of speed you want to get from a Sonic game that Sonic Frontiers isn't delivering.
There's one comment I just want to read out from the trailer of this. The series is way too underrated. I have a feeling this will be the best 3D platformer of all time. I think that's a statement and a half.
So YouTube comments
I
kind of
like
get
the-
hyperbolic like that, yes.
My
Yeah.
favorite one is, hey, look, fast-paced platformer that actually has some level design.
I wonder what they could be talking about. Alright, so Sega Mini Drive, Mega Drive, Mini 2. Like Sega Mini Mega Drive.
Would you like to try that again?
Just sell toast.
2 Duo. Boss.
So yeah, Sega's announced a new Mega Drive Mini console. They're calling it the Mega Drive Mini 2 since they did one of these already. It's going to have 50 games, I think they said, spanning across the Sega CD and the Mega Drive. So there'll be quite a few things. Apparently,
One
they're
of
also
them
going
is Sonic
to
the
sell
Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog CD will be on there.
And virtual racing.
Yep, Bonanza. So the things they've announced so far are Bonanza Brothers, Fantasy Zone, Magical Tarurutu-kun, Shining in the Darkness, Thunder Force 4, Virtua Racing, Mansion of Hidden Souls, Popful Mail, Shining Force CD, Sylpheed, and Sonic the Hedgehog CD. Something I just want to quickly mention is that they're also doing a little cosmetic add-on as a separate thing to mimic the Sega CD add-on that was for the Genesis.
Alright, cool.
Do we have a price?
Price is it's coming out October 27 in Japan, and the price is 9,980 yen.
What's that in Australian dollary dues?
Let me search that up.
That's roughly $100.
Yeah, $103.95.
There you go.
So the question is, wait, sorry, 111?
103.
103.
103,
Because
yeah,
10,000 yen is roughly 100 Australian.
Okay, cool. So Seth, question to you then. Would you rather buy 1 1/5 Dragon Ball The Breakers or this?
Would you rather buy one Sonic Frontiers or this?
So for the first question, that's kind of difficult. I'll need to see what else they had to this. For the second question, this.
This one has a Sonic game that I know is good. Or tolerable.
This one has a Sonic game that's not Frontiers, you mean?
Still do. Honestly, it looks like that Jester game could run on this.
Damn. Next up on the list, we have confirmation of the next Dragon Age game title.
Hype.
Both of you are much bigger Dragon Age fans than I, so one of you can take over.
Both of us?
That is a bold statement because I haven't
That is a
played a
bold
Dragon Age
statement.
game.
You're thinking
Shit,
of me
my-
and Steven,
Okay.
who's not here.
Seth, I'm so sorry.
I can't believe you confused me with Steven again.
Again. Obviously, I am a big Dragon Age fan.
I'm just so used to him saying it's Morbin time. I got you too confused.
Dragon Age, BioWare people usually kind of sit in one or two camps. They're either the Mass Effect sort of thing or the Dragon Age kind of thing.
Incorrect.
Or both.
That's three camps.
I like both. So there's three, but I find that people usually have a preference. They want the fantasy or they want the sci-fi. I'm definitely in the Dragon Age camp. Obviously, Patrick is in the sci-fi camp. What about you, Saif? I'm curious.
I haven't played either.
Well, where do you think you'd rather sit?
I'm not sure. I'd need to play them both because setting wise, I don't care. It's the type of gameplay that will decide it for me.
Yeah, Steven's played both, but I'm pretty sure he prefers Mass Effect. So Dragon Age, excellent.
I actually thought he preferred Dragon Age.
To give an actual answer, it'll be Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. That's the camp I sit in.
I didn't even understand.
that is a Sonic RPG that BioWare made on the DS, and it's horrible.
Oh god. Either way, Dragon Age is a very beloved series. It's very, very good. I think it's excellent. There's a lot of depth and a lot of character development that carries across these games, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this one, whether it's a new story or whether it's continuing what the other world setting was. With a name like Dreadwolf, I mean, it could be kind of anything, really.
It's saying it's named that because Solace the Dreadwolf is coming back.
Yeah, which is cool. But like, obviously that could be a new setting, or it could be a set like new characters and everything, and a new story. You know, it could be 1,000 years in the future or whatever. Could do what Mass Effect did, kill everyone off and then bring them kind of back.
Are you nervous that, given BioWare's run of absolute like shit-stained games recently, that they're going to fuck this one up too? Or do you have high hopes?
I have high hopes for this because
it's been 8 years.
It's been a while. And saying that, I hated Inquisition, absolutely hated it. So if it's anything like Inquisition, I won't like it. But I have hope. I don't know why. I feel like BioWare needs to do something to bring it back into the spotlight.
They need to take a chance to put the W back in BioWare.
I got half of both of you. What you said? What?
Patrick, I heard all of that, and that was fantastic.
What did you say?
They need to bring the W back in BioWare.
Oh my god. Well, no, I think that they're gonna do a good job. At least I hope so, because they've got a lot of pressure now because they aren't the only company doing these kind of things anymore. So I think, especially with Microsoft acquisition of Bethesda and what Starfield looks to be, I feel like they're going to feel pressure and like they have to deliver. So I'm really hoping that's what pushes them over the edge and delivers a good game.
So when they inevitably fuck it up, and we welcome you into the Mass Effect camp with open arms, which flavor ending do you like most? Red, green, or blue?
Cherry.
I don't actually know what they correlate to. I've only played Mass Effect 1, so...
No, it's purely a color-based thing.
It's purely color? They don't actually... Oh my god, all green,
no,
I guess.
They play a slightly different video, but...
I thought it was like, if you did good, then you got this color. If you did bad, then you got this color. And if you did like neutral, then you got a color. I didn't realize it was literally choose a color.
Yeah, so the final choices you have are either... the base game, the final choices are either... lick the red ice cream, lick the blue ice cream, or if you did really well, you can lick the green ice cream, which you needed to get a certain amount of universal readiness to unlock. Or when they realized that people weren't big fans of just licking flavors of ice cream to finish up the end of a multi-year trilogy of a game, they gave you a little bit extra where you could shoot the Star Child, which would be bad ending, or choose any of the three aforementioned flavors of ice cream and watch a short video. So yeah, really not a huge amount of depth to it.
Hang on. Literal ice cream?
No, just the color is what color the laser is that goes out across the galaxy to pop the Mass Effect relays.
Right, and that's literally all you're choosing is just the color.
Pretty much.
There's no bearing on your character alignment or anything.
No, they try and do the thing with the video of like, you know, technically the best ending is the green ending because that's like symbiosis between humans and organics and the universe is complete and all that stuff. Yeah, fine. But outside of the minute-long video that tells you that you've got the good ending, no change.
Literally, they could have just done just one color and had it would have been better. Anyway, I that's horrible. Well, I hope that this doesn't do that kind of shit. So hopefully it's good. Let's move on.
Hey, that's I'd still take that any day compared to Andromeda. So
Andromeda what?
Exactly. There is no Mass Effect in Ba Sing Se. Next up on the list, we have Bend Studio unveiling a new logo and some open world IP with multiplayer elements. Do I know Bend Studio? I feel like I should.
Days Gone,
which we've yet to play. Actually,
oh, that one. Okay,
the one that Jake's like literally just went, oh, here, play this.
They also did Uncharted Golden Abyss.
Oh, okay.
They were a primarily portable studio, I think, before this.
Bend Studio community manager Kevin McAllister. Isn't that the guy's name from Home Alone?
Home Alone, yeah.
What the heck?
I think so.
Is he still Home Alone?
He's in a studio alone.
Oh, that's so much worse. That's like Home Alone 2. That's the worst one.
Yeah. I mostly put this on the docket because I think it's funny to think they're working on a new IP that's including multiplayer but building on open world systems from Days Gone, and I just don't know how. I can't imagine how that's going to work.
Sounds like State of Decay.
I guess, but yeah, I'm interested in seeing what it'll end up being.
Yeah, hopefully they drop the over-the-top American sort of story that was going on in Days Gone.
What, you mean Bandit Keith himself as a playable character?
In America. Yeah. It was like an interesting game. It just I couldn't take it seriously.
I intend to play it. Like bits of it did look fun, so it's in the backlog
big chunks
somewhere.
of that game got ripped out at the last minute. There was meant to be a morality system in that game.
Man, you really could have like not told me that, and I would have had this nice fun. Like now, it's the Spore problem, where I played through Spore and I went, I quite enjoyed this game, and then I learned about all the shit that could have been in Spore that got removed, and I went, that's disappointing.
No, I think it's more something you need to know beforehand, because then you get to listen to some of the dialogue choices and imagine, like, was this going to be with, like, a bad version? Like, is this the bad morality route, or is this the good one?
Why am I not punished for being a shit?
Basically.
Anyway, next. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Hope it goes well. Smile. Next up on the list, unsurprising to everyone, Prince of Persia getting... Is this another delay, or is this the first one?
Another delay, yes.
Yeah,
another
cool.
one, yeah.
They last time we mentioned this, they were moving the development studio from Ubisoft Mumbai to Ubisoft Montreal, and they were delaying it to next year. Now they're saying they're delaying it out of next year. They don't have a development goal. I think this game's just going to get cancelled.
I don't know if it'll get cancelled or not, but I think they're taking the Sands of Time thing a little bit literally.
Can't wait to play it in 2030.
Yeah.
This is literally every
Banger.
Square Enix projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll get cancelled. I think they've spent way too long on this remake.
I'm so curious as to like, you know, a game studio doesn't just lift and shift all of the work from one game studio to another. I'm so curious as to like the reasons why. We're never gonna know, I don't think, but it would be interesting for me to understand how it can get to that state where they think that it's easiest to move forwards by just ripping it out of a studio and giving it to another.
I just don't think it looked impressive properly. They did that before with the Final Fantasy VII remake. It was being developed by CyberConnect 2 originally, and it just, we don't know why. We never really saw footage from what their version of the game looks like. But after like a year and a half, they announced that they were taking the game away from CyberConnect to restart development at Square Enix internally.
So do we think the game's ever coming out? Yay, no?
I think it'll be cancelled.
Patrick?
I don't have a horse in the race, but yeah, I think it's probably also not looking good for coming out. I think they might do a Duke Nukem. We might hear about this game coming out in like 5 years or something, but I don't think it'll be the same vision as to what they wanted to release as of this point in time.
If we hear about it in 5 years, it better be a full remake of the entire Sands of Time trilogy.
I reckon it'll just be a really dodgy, shitty port.
No, I guess that's sort of what I mean. I think like compared to what they think they could have released next year, that game has been cancelled. We might still get something with the same name in 5 years. I think it'll be a very different project.
I think that basically already happened anyway because they originally gave it to Ubisoft Mumbai because it's an Indian studio and that was probably the closest they had to like the area of Persia and to try and keep it like the development studio close to that sort of setting. And now it's being sent to Montreal and yeah, I guess they probably just have a different vision already.
Anyway, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Next up on the list, we have
something I just added because I saw it in this, so I just wanted to bring this up very quickly because, oh my god, what the hell? 3 hours ago as of time of recording, Cyberpunk, after cancelling work on the game, has decided to announce a 10-part anime series streaming on Netflix.
I really want this to be about the development of Cyberpunk 2077.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask you guys. This is why I added it very quickly just now. Do we think it's going to be as buggy and terribly animated as the game? Do we think people will not have faces, etc.?
One of the episodes is just going to be full of rubber ducks and we're never going to understand why.
Genuinely, though, it does look kind of cool. I don't know if I'll watch it, but animation-wise and setting-wise, I think it looks cool. But, I mean, how do you fuck up a series other than plot? So they can't just have development hell on this, surely.
I'm slightly I'm worried that, so I see this in the same trend as like League of Legends did an anime-ish, Dota did an anime, like real anime. I see this as like a trend of other video games going, we could probably make money off of expanding into other markets. I feel like Cyberpunk is really banking on their setting being able to carry what's otherwise been a bit of a failure as a game, whereas the games that came before it have kind of blazed the trail and have huge followings that really want to see more of the content. So obviously I wish them well. I just don't know why they're doing this.
I don't know either. I can only see this as we need to do something to generate interest in this if we're going to continue this as an IP and not admit failure. And that's what I see it being. Also being Netflix. I think Netflix is like, hey, we can do a show about this, drum up some interest because it's already an existing IP, and cancel it after 2 seasons like we do for everything else on Netflix. So I think it's probably a lot of Netflix influence as well.
It's being done by Studio Trigger, so I have enough hope that it'll at least look and animate really well because Trigger does some fantastic work.
Yeah, it looks very, very good. So I like just animation-wise and art style-wise, it looks very, very good. I don't know about setting or plot or anything like that. There's just been a teaser that was announced, say, like 3 hours ago. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was interesting and threw that in.
Yeah. Thank you for that late-minute addition that totally didn't fuck with my schedule. That's fine.
Yeah, no worries.
Next up...
Don't worry, that's going to happen again soon.
Oh, boy. Next up on the list, we have... Oh, that's not the right tab. This one. An article from DualShockers. I don't think we've actually had much from DualShockers before. Anyway,
because PlayStation doesn't have anything worth talking about. All right, just doing that before the state of play thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say just you
Funnily
wait.
enough, DualShockers is like a overall website as well. They're not just a PlayStation website.
They are now. They never used to be.
As long as I've known them, they've been an overall website.
Anyway,
yes, continue.
An insider claims that Crash Bandicoot could be getting a multiplayer brawler-like entry.
Please, for the love of God, no.
God. Could you imagine if Crash was going to be like an option for Smash Brothers and Activision in all of their hubris was like, no, we don't want Smash Brothers. We got our own Crash game in development.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be Crash. It would just be like Activision, like Nick All-Star Brawl, Activision All-Star Brawl 2.
This insider is sounding like it's just going to be Crash Bandicoot though, like not even a combination of Crash and Spyro.
No, I know, but I'm saying like that. I guess that's what I don't understand is that like I think if the insider had been like, yeah, Activision's just making a brawler type game, would be like, interesting. Do we finally have a Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl killer? Whereas
we already have that though. It's multiverses.
All right,
shut the fuck up, Saif.
I think that Toys for Bob doing this is the only saving grace.
I
should I know?
Toys for Bob did the Skylanders games and did Crash 4. And and then they got gutted and they became a Call of Duty
You're right,
support
actually.
studio.
I was thinking about old Toys for Bob. They might not do anything good now. I'm not sure.
All
Now
the
it's
people that made
oh my
Crash
god! Now it's
4, the
Toys
game-
for Bobby.
all the
Toys for Bobby.
all the people that made Crash 4 the game that it was, like in terms of art direction and game direction in general, they left they left the studio.
Well, game's dead. Nice knowing you.
Also in general, a Crash Bandicoot brawler isn't something I want.
Something anyone wants.
As a big Crash fan, it's not what
You're
I want.
literally their market, and it's still not something that you want.
Yeah, there was also rumors of like Crash getting a Fortnite clone, and that's definitely not something I want.
At least that would be comically funny.
I would have been so in for that.
Yeah.
As long as the Wampa Bazooka was in there, I guess it would have been fine.
Do we finally have a Fortnite killer?
No, it was supposed to be PUBG.
PUBG came first.
Yeah, I know. And then they let Fortnite eat their lunch.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you don't add a mantle to your game for several years. Fuck you, PUBG. Hope you're listening. All right.
Next,
Moving on.
On the list, also from DualShockers, we have data mining sources suggesting that we could be getting 10 more characters after launch to Mario Strikers Battle League.
Wait, hang on, is this game actually released yet?
I believe it just came out.
Did anyone actually end up picking it up?
Either that or it's that people data mined the demo.
Yeah, I think it's a demo data mine because I know that it's coming out soon. We might be approaching the release window, but this is a game that I'm absolutely intending to not necessarily buy at launch,
tomorrow.
but buy
June 10th,
and play pretty quickly. So, okay, well, that's my weekend sorted.
I
I've
thought
been
we were
looking forward to
watching
this.
Emperor's New Groove. Oh, fuck.
We can do both. It's okay.
Shout out to Emperor's New Groove. All right.
Josh,
so 10 more characters.
we've been through this. I play Switch while docked at my computer anyway, where I
no
physically
audio.
cannot use the audio.
It's wild to me that you've played hundreds of hours of several games and not heard the audio in any of them.
All I'm saying is, monsters better be fearing because I don't need sound to hunt them.
Patrick is just built different.
The confirmed
all
characters.
smell.
Argue built wrong.
I would agree. So the confirmed characters are Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Peach, Donkey Kong, Wario, Waluigi, Rosalina, Toad, and Yoshi.
There's
So
no
who
Daisy
do we-
that I'm not buying.
I think Daisy will be one of the 10 is why I'm
She
bringing that up because you
definitely-
said absolutely right. I think that Dry Bones will probably be in there.
I think Chris Pratt will probably be in there.
I think wouldn't the Cloud would be fun just because he wouldn't have legs, so how would he kick it?
But yeah, Daisy is 100% going to be one of these because they give her so much personality and she became such a meme. Like her voice lines and her attitude are huge memes for the Mario Strikers games. They know that they'll get attention when they finally add her back in.
The question is, will she be paid or will she be free?
I believe they already announced that the support for this game is going to be free DLC, like with Mario Golf and some other stuff.
It says that, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. The thing is, like, will it be free DLC followed by paid DLC, or is it a battle pass system or something, or will it be just free DLC? I don't think they've clarified.
I think we're gonna get like Nintendo Strikers Battle League Direct, where we get the game director to talk about collaborations with other large franchises, perhaps, and about their addition to the game as a character.
And then they're going to add Sonic, right?
And Sakurai's going to present them. Don't ask me why.
No, they're gonna add Master Chief.
Just like in Fortnite.
They just add all the characters that, like this PlayStation and Microsoft characters that were from Fortnite into this. So we get Kratos, we get Nathan Drake, we get Master Chief.
We get 3 different flavors of Spider-Man.
8 different Gokus.
Naruto, Sasuke.
Rick and Morty.
Kakashi as well, but you just don't get Sakura because no one wants Sakura.
Anyway, we'll have to wait and see. So, on the back of that, are you guys going to be joining me in Mario Strikers Battle League?
Not until Daisy's in the game.
I'm not paying $80 for a football clone I could just play Rocket League for. I'll buy it when it's on sale.
I hate the logic of that sentence so much.
It's a very different game from Rocket League 2.
It is, but it's still like it feels like Rocket League fills my soccer quota.
Patrick, can we move on?
I don't know that I can, Seth.
Would you like me to move on for you?
You might have to.
Okay, so
Why? When you say football clone, would you then say Rocket League?
Is this soccer?
Just go to a soccer match.
So
and
in
people
very
fly
disturbing
around.
and disgusting news, the Russian government has put the Metro 2033 author, Dmitry Glukovsky, I believe is how you pronounce
Rocket League
it.
has cars.
They put him on the wanted list for condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
He
Almost as fucked as talking about how Rocket League is a football clone. It's close.
I don't think it quite compares. He's accused of discrediting the armed forces of the Russian Federation for a post on Instagram, is the part that really gets me. On Instagram.
Instagram, even.
And,
this is shitty.
His post says that to stop the war, recognize that this is a real war against an entire nation and stop it.
Yeah.
There was somewhere in this article where they mentioned what the sentence could be. I'm trying to find that.
It's 10 years in prison.
That's it.
In a Russian prison? That's a life sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is absolutely disgusting news to hear.
Yep. Pretty fucked.
In similar but maybe slightly happier, well, depending on your perspective news, apparently it's becoming more and more of an issue where sysadmins working for Russian companies that are Ukraine affiliated just kind of have to be fired by like Russian company like owners, because more and more of them are just taking down systems and then quitting.
That's great.
Good on them.
That's absolutely excellent.
That's got some respect. So in the words of one of my favorite podcasts, Risky Business, if you're a Ukrainian sysadmin working for a Russian company, get your Control Alt Delete ready, or get your Control A Delete ready.
Control A Delete. Oh my god.
They're coming to fire you. Make sure you go down swinging. But yeah, no, shitty situation. Hope he and his immediate family are safe.
In a somewhat less shitty situation, but shitty nonetheless, co-op will finally be tested in Halo Infinite.
I knew that the next article was Halo Infinite, and I wasn't sure about that tangent, I'll be honest.
No,
that was a very, very rough segue.
It's rough, but you know what else was rough? Releasing a Halo game without co-op. Absolutely fucking criminal. They should have 10 years in jail.
Releasing Halo Infinite in the state it was in general.
The campaign played fine, but I wanted co-op, so finally getting a public test in July.
I still miss what was it, Korg the Elite?
Yeah. Yeah, Craig. I think his name was Craig. It was excellent. Yeah. It ended up looking a lot better than that, but what a meme. But yes, so if you're interested in it, the public test in July, I'll definitely play it. It's still expected to release in August.
Good luck. Not a huge amount more that I can add to that. Anything else from either of you two?
Nope, just looking forward to playing Legendary.
Yeah, I just played the multiplayer and fell off pretty quickly and haven't gone back because they haven't added anything new to the multiplayer.
Yeah, fair enough. Next up on the list, we have a Steam leak on good authority that we have the first expansion pack being announced, and it's something to do with Hot Wheels, which I'll admit
Did you say Forza Horizon 5 yet?
Did I not mention Forza at all? I thought
you did not.
Oops.
It's for Forza Horizon 5.
That's
Congrats.
Yeah,
We've now spoiled it.
I bet you're wondering, I wonder what this Hot Wheels League pack is for.
Well, Hot Wheels Unleashed, I bet you're thinking, haha, you would be wrong.
What's that? Motorstorm, new Motorstorm entry, I hear you ask? No, good sir, it's actually Forza Horizon 5. Yeah, so we know that, as with other Forza Horizon games, there'll be 2 large DLC packs that come with it. I'm in 2 minds about this. If this is true, and it sounds like, there's a decent amount of evidence to suggest that it is, this will be the first time that they have done what would probably be the silly DLC pack first. So Horizon 3 did Blizzard Mountain as the first one, and that was a serious kind of snow off-roady type one. And then Forza Horizon 4 did like Mystery Island. I forget what the something island. But that was also a serious, there was storms and that kind of stuff. So for Horizon 5 to have the first DLC as Hot Wheels, and for Hot Wheels to have also been done as the silly pack for Forza Horizon 3. Now, don't get me wrong, the Hot Wheels DLC pack for Horizon 3 was fantastic. It was so good. So I'm so curious. Like, if they're just doing that again, I don't know if I'd be disappointed. I feel like I would be because I've played it before, but it was so good that I wouldn't mind playing it again. You know what I mean?
I mean, we were going to buy Hot Wheels Unleashed at some point, so it saves us money there.
Also true.
It's it's interesting. I want to play devil's advocate for a second and say that you're expecting, I guess, your expectations for there's DLC packs and they're always this got completely fucked up for Tiny Tina. So
come on, man,
expecting something and getting it. I don't know, but I'm hoping that this is just done well, and it doesn't matter what order it's in.
Wait, sorry, hold up. At the bottom of this article courtesy of Video Games Chronicle, by the way, there's fine print that says that this DLC pack will be produced by Gearbox. Fuck, you're right. Shit. Damn it. Oh.
I'm sorry, your hopes got up over Hot Wheels, and now Gearbox is coming in to just throw it all away.
Oh, Gearbox has nothing to do with it.
There's a gif of Randy Pitchford smiling and making direct eye contact with me specifically while rubbing his hands.
Holding a USB stick.
God damn it.
He's approaching someone who's doing a voiceover, and he's about to give them a wet willy while still making eye contact with me specifically. I don't know what this means for the DLC anymore.
No.
Side note, fuck Randy
what
Pitchford.
You deserve. It's funny because Randy Pitchford isn't even involved with games anymore. He's gone over to Gearbox's head studio that's got things to do with Hollywood now. He's trying to make it big in movies.
Sorry. I'll let Josh go, but I have one more thing to say on this before we move on.
All I want to say is I don't have expectations, because expectations is how you get let down.
Fair enough.
But I think it looks good.
It won't be as much of a letdown as the commenter who goes by the username Heathen, which makes sense. Motorcycles would have been much more interesting. Seems Playground has run out of fresh ideas. Fuck you, Heathen. Motorcycles would be a terrible idea.
Motorcycles would be fun if they were done well.
Burnout Paradise did motorcycles reasonably well, and it still felt like a complete departure from what they were trying to do with cars. So I would much rather they just do a funny, dumb DLC area like this. Fuck you.
I would be fine if there was motorbikes if there was no cars. You know what I mean? Like, if it was its own thing, then I'd be fine with motorbikes. Especially for Horizon, like, whatever. Like, it doesn't really matter what you're driving in the overworld, but have, like, motorbike-specific races and whatnot.
So, hey, remember how 10 minutes ago I said I was going to break the flow again?
Yeah.
It's time to break the flow. We got some breaking Xbox news. They've made some big announcements saying that this is going to be their way of building their gaming platform for the next 20 years. Quick overview. They're bringing Xbox app to the Samsung 2022 smart TVs. They're expanding Xbox cloud gaming to more countries. New gaming experiences to Microsoft Edge and Windows 11. Rolling out updates for Game Pass members and introducing more options to express yourself with the Xbox Design Lab. So I'll go over each one pretty... I'll get the bullet points for each one.
Doesn't sound like Kinect is making a comeback, so
honestly,
I sleep.
All of that stuff is known. It's just they're clarifying it by the sounds of it. I don't even know if we really need to discuss it. But we can.
Going into deep detail about all of these, and one of them I want to point and laugh at because Xbox fanboys were pointing and laughing at Sony for doing this, and now Xbox is announcing they're doing it too.
Okay, shoot.
So, Samsung bringing Xbox app to Samsung TVs. They're saying it's just going to be straight up cloud system into the Samsung integration. All you have to do is sign into a Microsoft account on that TV, like into the Xbox app, connect the Bluetooth controller, and you're good to go. If you have a Game Pass Ultimate membership, then you can play any game that you have, and you can play Fortnite without a subscription. Cloud gaming getting expanded. It's coming to Argentina and New Zealand now.
Yay, did you hear that, Argentinian guys? You and I are the same.
I don't think there's anything too interesting about the Microsoft Edge and Windows 11 stuff, so I'll skip over that for now. So here's the thing I want to laugh at. They just announced their first details for something called Project Smallcroft, which is going to be if you have Xbox Game Pass, then you can play select demos of games with the subscription now. So doing the thing that PlayStation is doing with their subscription, where before major releases come out, you get a curated demo for those that you have to pay for.
And you know what's funny is I'm pretty sure Nintendo does this as part of their online offering, no one laughs at them for that because people are just.
It's Nintendo. They get a free pass.
Well, it's not even that they get a free pass. It's just people laughed at it, but it was like it's Nintendo. They were going to do something weird like that anyway. So when an actual game company does it, like Sony, people are like, oh, that's kind of weird. And now that Xbox is doing it, in the middle of all three, just laugh at all three and go, who the fuck buy it? Who the fuck would pay money for curated demos?
Yeah, dumb.
It's very stupid.
Oh, does it mention if they have the same development requirements that Sony imposed of making large publishers build a fucking demo that has to be available for 3 months?
It doesn't on this thing, but I saw on Twitter someone saying that one Xbox representative said that Moorcroft is going to be kind of like a virtual E3. So I guess they're going to be kind of like that, whereas like curated demos made for like what would be a show floor presentation.
Weird, and I don't like it.
They also said they're going to be compensating developers for this, but I also kind of assume that Sony is going to be compensating developers for those because they compensate them for the games on PlayStation Plus in general already. So I just kind of put 2 and 2 together for that.
I'd be so curious, just even just sort of raw ballpark figures. Again, I don't think we're ever going to see them, but Sony/Microsoft will have like numbers for how many people have played the demo.
Yep, and Microsoft is saying they're going to give those numbers to the developers.
Right, but I'm saying for us as the general public, I'd be interested to know how many people still use demos as the main thing for whether or not they would buy a game. Because I don't think at least in my age bracket, know anyone that would buy a game based on how a demo plays. It would be based on critical reviews and friend anecdotes.
I bought a game recently off a demo. Triangle Strategy had a demo that I was like, yeah, you know what, this is actually fun. I can play this, and I bought it.
It depends if a game has a demo and you get to check it out, because not a lot of games do demos these days anymore.
No, and the demos that I'll play and judge thing off is like I get the start of the game or whatever, right? Not a curated you play this part of the game that we know you'll like kind of thing. If it's like, hey, play the start of the game or play if say for example Mario Strikers had a demo and it was play 3 games, and if you like it you buy the game. Yeah, I'd buy a game off that.
Last demo that I played was Kirby Forgotten Land. Didn't buy the full game.
I think the last demo I played was
I bought Kirby off
it was actually
Octopath
Traveler, and I bought Octopath Traveler based on that demo.
Yeah, it was another game I bought actually off the demo because I was like, yeah, this is fun.
Okay, no, I'll retract that statement. I didn't think demos were as popular as a way of determining whether or not people buy games. Clearly, that's wrong. That's fine.
Honestly, mostly just for the Nintendo kind of games.
Fair enough.
And final piece of sudden Xbox news that's flooding my timeline. Xbox is saying they're planning to release 5 exclusives within this fiscal year.
Well, they kind of have to, right?
Wait, this fiscal year?
Yep.
So from that's July like 20 days.
From July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023.
So next fiscal year, okay.
This fiscal year's... oh, wait, no, it's only June. Yes.
Yeah. So, that's why I was like, that's 20 days.
No, never mind, the next fiscal year. My bad.
No, American fiscal years operate differently.
Well, it's not even that. It's still... actually, I think America might be like March to March because they talk about tax season in like April or something.
It's rough. It's early in the year.
Theirs starts July 1st, 2022. So yeah. But
if I was to say I'm going to hang out with you guys this Saturday, and it's not Saturday yet, I'm going to hang out with you guys this fiscal year. It's not this fiscal year yet.
That's not how that works. It's like saying, oh, I'm going to hang out with you guys this year. See you next year. Like, it's a long period of time, not see you this Saturday because it is not currently a Saturday. If you said to me, see you this Saturday on Saturday morning, I would be like, today? Question mark.
I didn't think a quick statement of Xbox is promising to release 5 games in the next 12 months was going to be so topical.
Controversial.
Controversial.
Hey, Josh,
I say something controversial yet so brave.
Josh, I respect your feedback, but I'd respect it more if you didn't call Rocket League a football clone. So I think I still have the moral high ground here.
Look, everyone's got moral high ground over me and my opinions. That's just fact.
Shit, but now I'm
just because
agreeing
I have
with them.
opinions, just because I'm the one having the opinions doesn't mean I necessarily agree with them.
I want to agree with that statement, but this comes from the guy who said that Rocket League was a football clone, which I don't agree with. Can I half agree with the statement? Who am I? What's going on?
Have the borders to New Zealand open back up yet? Because I'm a whoop some ass.
Not before you get some Knuckles G Fuel.
That's true.
Second
Are we
last
back on
piece
real
of
news now?
Yeah, second last piece of news. The ESA promises that E3 will be back for sure next year.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I'm not excited.
And finally.
Jeff Keighley's jerking off into the public.
Yeah, I don't believe them. I think they'll cancel E3 again next year.
I hope they do.
I just find it funny that, like, I don't know, there's something about the phrasing of the ESA promises that E3 will be back in 2023.
I like that the sub headline is "Will it really though?" Question mark.
Yeah, also true. But, like, I don't know, for some reason it's just like you hear about what people want to do next year. It's like, you know, this thing will happen next year, says this boss or whatever. The idea that the ESA is just saying we promise E3 will be on next year. It feels different. I don't know why.
Even if it doesn't show back up, we've got Jeff Keighley on our backs.
True.
Jeff Keighley can just leave, please. If someone else ran E3, I'd be more excited for him.
I love the Dorito Pope.
Oh god.
He has a very deep, intimate friendship with Hideo Kojima, and I'm here for it.
Is he more kind of like the Church of Cool Ranch kind of guy, or?
Hold on, let me find it.
No, we don't need to do this.
Please
All
don't.
Right. So moving on, PlayStation State of Play, Seth.
Okay.
Careful, you'll confuse him. He's doing two things at once.
Yes, actually. He is 100% a nacho cheese person.
Disgusting. All right, PlayStation State of Play.
All right, so same with the Sonic thing. I'm just going to run down the bullet points, and if there's anything you guys want to talk about, just cut me off. Resident Evil 4, they opened up with Resident Evil 4 remake.
But Seth, what if there's something we don't want to talk about? Do we still cut you off? Wait, shit, sorry.
I will continue and act like you didn't cut me off. So Resident Evil 4 remake got announced for March 24th, 2023. They're also including PSVR 2 content for that game.
Exclusive content. Boo. Yeah. All right, sorry, move on.
Second up, they announced Resident Evil 8 is getting PSVR support whenever that comes out. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution is announced for PSVR 2. No Man's Sky is coming to PSVR 2. And
Can someone
Horizon
give me a 1 second summary of the difference between PSVR 1 and PSVR 2? It's basically just an upgrade, right? An upgrade without needing the camera.
Yeah.
Two is better than 1.
They haven't really announced too many details about it, but it's basically just a straight upgrade with better screens, better controller support, and
yeah, okay. So it's not like an Oculus to Vive type thing. It's the same kind of system.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the same kind of system. They might change it up.
Anyway, continue. Any No Man's Sky news is good. It's cool.
That VR trailer was interesting for No Man's Sky.
I'm pretty sure there's VR. I think there's VR support for Steam. Could be wrong on that, or at least there's mod support for VR on Steam for No Man's Sky. So cool that it's getting what sounds like first-party support for PSVR 2. So anyway, continue.
Yep. Horizon Call of the Mountain got a trailer, which is also a PlayStation VR 2 game. That looked interesting. Moving on to actual games and not just VR games. Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales are coming to PC in August, which was very surprising to me. I wasn't expecting a PC port announcement at a PlayStation State of Play.
You mean the game that Insomniac swore up and down that it will remain PlayStation exclusive forever,
Yeah.
that is now not PlayStation exclusive forever? You were surprised at hearing that news?
Yeah, that one.
I can't wonder why.
No, I was surprised at hearing about a PC port on this.
I know, but fuck you, Insomniac, piece of shit. Don't lie to me.
To be fair, they probably didn't know about it back in 2018.
Then don't promise things.
Stray, the video game where you play as a cat in a futuristic cyberpunk dystopian city, is coming to PS4 and PS5 on July 19.
Which is 10 out of 10.
It is also going to be free for PlayStation Plus Extra and PlayStation Plus Deluxe.
It's also the one game I've been waiting for since the announcement of the PS5 when it showed as a trailer, as a release title, basically. So, like, 2 years later, being able to finally get my hands on it, I'm looking forward to.
The Callisto Protocol, which is that Dead Space-ish game.
Dead Space 1.
Yeah, Dead Space 1 is coming December 2, 2022, which is funny because it's coming out before the Dead Space 1 remake.
An aperitif, if you will.
Rollerdrome is coming out August 16. That looks pretty interesting to me because it's kind of like a mix between Jet Set Radio and a third-person shooter. From the looks of it, it's probably a single-player like arena sort of game, so I'll be pretty into that. Eternights is coming out early 2023. That game looks hilarious to me because it has a quick time event prompt that says hold R2 to hold hands.
10 out of 10.
Taking from Elden Ring's thing where you can get hugged, so, you know.
Street Fighter 6 is coming out 2023, and they changed the logo for the game, so it is no longer stealing something from an asset store, and it actually looks good now. Also, immediately after this, 22 characters for the game got leaked, including a look at Ken Master's model and Cammy's new super move. Just a quick overview of the character leaks. It looks like we've heard before that the roster is probably going to be 25 characters. Based on this leak, it looks like we're going to get the 8 World Warriors from Street Fighter 2's original release, 8 new characters, 8 characters from Street Fighter 2 to Street Fighter 5, like just returning characters in that time period, and then 1 boss character probably. And all the new characters look fantastic. But this is all me-specific news. I know Patrick and Josh have nothing to say about that.
Ryu is absolutely stacked.
Hadouken!
Ryu is 5'9" and 187 pounds apparently. He does not
Is that a lot?
No, that's not a lot. He looks like he should be so much more than that.
Yeah, okay, good. Because I was going to say, he looks like he's 8 feet tall and weighs 500 pounds.
Yes. Tunic is coming to PS4 and PS5 on September 27. Season, A Letter to the Future is coming autumn 2022. I didn't get a whole lot from this game's trailer, and I'll probably skip it. Did anyone have any thoughts about this one?
Nope. No, I didn't see the trailer. I just want to point out the next dot point before you read it, because I have no context to this other than in all capital letters, Yoshi P, you beautiful man. All right, Saif, what does that mean?
Yoshi P is the producer for Final Fantasy 16, and after all these trailers, they put him up on stage, and he's just like, hey everyone, I know you've been waiting a long time for Final Fantasy 16. We finished making the content for the game. We're just in bug polishing phase now. Here's a trailer. And that trailer looks fantastic. Shut the fuck up, Josh. You're not interrupting.
No, it looks fucking horrible. And I'm not the only one that has this opinion, which is wild to me. So many people I've spoken to has agreed with me. It does not need to be a fucking Devil May Cry game in Final Fantasy.
I don't have a horse in this race, but I'm just like diametrically opposed to whatever Josh says. So congrats, Seth. I'm on your team.
Thank you, Patrick. You're on the right side of history, because literally everyone I've talked to, except for like our like shared circle, has been positive on this game.
Because everyone you speak to likes Devil May Cry and other juggling simulators. Nah, get fucked. I don't want to play it. Steven doesn't like it either.
Not everyone that I've talked to. Some people don't like Devil May Cry, or they're like massive turn-based RPG fans, and they're still all on board for this game.
Nah. Look at what Final Fantasy 15 was, and you told me that was a success. No, God, no.
This looks nothing like 15, and you're insane.
No, it looks exactly like 15's combat with less dashing. That's all it is. Oh no, I hate it. Just give me an ATB gauge. Give me turn-based combat. That's all I need.
So from the trailer, we saw some fantastic-looking combat that looks extremely fun.
Oh yeah, especially including the Street Fighter boss bars to correlate with the Street Fighter 6 news.
Yeah,
get fucked.
Yeah, we got what looks like to be giant kaiju battles between the summons, which will be fantastic. The end of the trailer has the theme song singing the primal names, which is also fantastic.
That song is cool, but all Final Fantasy music is cool.
And to top it all off, they're putting sex in the game. We won, lads.
So I looked at this and was like, wow, I should play a good Final Fantasy game, and started playing Final Fantasy X. I highly recommend that anyone listening to this should go do the same.
I think that this game looks fantastic. I look forward to it, and I'm going to go play Dragon's Dogma soon because I feel like that's the closest thing that'll be to this game's combat system, and even then, it probably won't live up to it.
I look forward to basically just Seth pre-ordering this game and then going, wow, this can go next to my Final Fantasy 15 pre-order that I also hate because I spent way too much money on it. Wow, this game was such a waste of money. Get ready for that podcast.
Nah, see, 16 is being made by people that understand good combat systems and not someone that goes, oh, I'm old, I don't like pressing buttons, so you're just going to hold the buttons to attack and defend, or these enemies shouldn't have tells that they're going to attack because that doesn't happen in real life, even though that doesn't make sense for a video game.
Wait. You're telling me that the entire, like, Batman Arkham series combat wasn't like how Batman actually fights people in real life?
Absolutely not. Batman doesn't kill people. He just cripples them.
True,
He
there
just
are
makes
a
it so
lot
their
of broken necks
bills
in that game.
kill them effectively.
He makes them wish they were dead.
Yeah, basically. Just like Final Fantasy 16.
No, just
Final
makes
Fantasy
you wish
16
you were
makes
dead.
you wish. Yeah, damn it. Well played.
No.
Well played. Same
I was
team.
so
same
hyped for
team.
this game, and now I'm so against this game. Like the world setting is cool, the story looks cool, the art is fantastic, the music is fantastic. Just take away the combat. Just take it away. I don't want it.
Absolute insanity. The combat looks
but you know
fantastic.
But you know what's not fantastic, Josh? Your attitude. All right.
Final Fantasy 15 has broken me.
To be fair, 15 is a terrible game with a terrible combat system.
I've had enough. I'm going to bed.
But first, well,
We can do the audience question without him.
Where you get your bad opinions?
Let's not hold that as a threat too much, Seth. Anything final from the state of play from you?
I thought it was probably the best state of play they've ever done.
So if you could describe the absolute state of play, how would you describe
absolute
it?
state of play this time is very positive.
Except for Final Fantasy 16. Right.
Well, thank you to both of you for that absolute bumper news section, but good discussions. Lots to look forward to. Lots to meme on. Looking at you, Sonic.
Can't wait to have another long episode next week because of the Jeff Keighley show and the Xbox show.
I mean, I'll talk about the Xbox one. Jeff Keighley, it's like, whatever, man.
And Steve won't even be here.
Oh
Guess
no,
that
his
means
stocks.
we all sleeping.
He won't get to celebrate.
Anyway, audience question for this week. Peter writes in. Peter says, "Hi guys."
Peter
with
Griffin?
the cost, it doesn't say. It was just Peter. I don't know. Could be Peter Griffin.
Can anyone do
could
the
be Peter
laugh?
Parker.
That was pretty good.
That was horrific, and I never want to hear that again. Anyway, Peter writes in and says, "Hi Lois." Wait, shit. I'm kidding. Writes, "Hi guys. With the cost of living going up, what game world do you think would have the most stable cost of living, and then in brackets specifically rent?" I think this is an interesting question.
It's definitely not Spider-Man because that takes place in New York.
Yeah. So I was thinking something like Minecraft, but I feel like as soon as one bad thing happens, like one creeper attack, inflation goes through the roof and suddenly you're out on the street.
I was thinking actually Skyrim, but then I was like, the dragons would just burn so many houses. Like, you'd just be paying so much money to find an actual house.
Actually,
I was
because
also thinking The Sims, but The Sims is based in capitalist society, so that will also not be good.
Just like my idea of living on the Monopoly board.
because I mentioned
I like that one.
Spider-Man, should we count comic games?
As opposed to not counting a genre of game in this?
Yeah, I mean the questions for video game worlds, I'd probably count it.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the Batman Arkham games because I imagine with the rate of crime that's in Gotham, the rent is absurdly cheap.
Reminds me of that meme where the guy's like he's like, oh, I heard this gunshot like every month, and I was wondering what it was, and they spoke to the neighbor, and he's just shot up in the air to keep the rent down.
I was thinking the same meme actually. That's crazy.
That's excellent. Do you have an answer, Patrick?
No, I don't. I don't know. So many games I think of are either based in reality, in which case we're fucked, or they're based in such an absurdist reality that there's something in there that will kill me.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. I think, you know what? I'm going to say Final Fantasy 14.
Oh no, the fucking market is shit in that. You can't afford a house.
But that's realistic.
And even if you
it's
could,
stable
you can't get to
at the
one.
point. So you're missing the thing here, Seth. It's stable in that it's completely unobtainable, and it will stay that way forever.
Unless
So
they
that's
add new
my take on the
servers.
question.
So it can't get worse.
In
I see.
fact-
Exactly. It can't get worse. It can't get better. It's stable at unaffordable, just like real life.
And when there is a house, you have to enter via a lottery system.
Just like real life.
Oh,
The
actually,
lottery system is how you're born.
what would you get? So the one that springs to mind that I think is somewhat of an actual answer is Breath of the Wild, because one, you can actually buy a house.
There are
in
no
there.
houses.
No, you can buy a house in Breath of the Wild.
You can
you?
even make a
Yeah.
village around it.
Yeah. But even with that too, there's a way to cheat that old man out of millions of dollars in that shell game. Why the old man has millions of dollars, I don't know, but there is a way for anyone to afford a house in that universe. So, and I don't think Breath of the Wild, at least where that house is, has immediate threats to your health and safety.
You know, with every Pokemon game beginning with you moving to a new location or already living in a house, I
Smart.
imagine those.
Yeah, but there's not
worlds-
enough houses, and like you look at your house and you're like, oh, I've got a room, but where do my parents live? Like they don't.
They
like,
live in the kitchen where they belong.
No, I mean you walk into most houses and it's just a single room. It's just like a table. There's no beds. There's no nothing, man. That's some bullshit.
Actually, on the back of that though, how many times do you walk into a house somewhere in like a town or a village and there isn't someone living in? I haven't seen a for sale sign in any town in Pokemon.
No. What about Monster Hunter? Are they building all the cities and living in a big commune?
Yeah, but you gotta
there's
fight the
no rent at
monsters.
all.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Like, it's all fun and
that's
games
just-
until you have to fight the monster until you have to hunt the monster.
Yeah, the rent is fighting a Rathalos.
That's true. That's true. I don't think there is a good answer. To be honest, not to my
Sounds
knowledge.
like everything is fucked.
Yeah. I don't know,
Uh,
because either the things I'm thinking of is like the rent is completely unobtainable, or it's too easy to obtain and there's
Or
danger,
houses don't exist in that
or
world.
they don't exist. Yeah, they just straight up don't exist.
The igloos on the side of the track in Snowy Mountain on Mario Kart. Or whatever the snow, not Snowy Mountain.
Igloos,
What's the
man, that
old-
has windows. I can't afford that.
The igloos that you can destroy in Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah, I think for some reason this is a harder question than I thought it would be.
Yeah, no, it is. Because most of the games I'm thinking of just there is no house because there's never been a need for a plot device. What about Last of Us? They kind of just walk in and take a house. There's no rent.
True, but that's
That-
because the rent is controlled by
By
clickers.
zombies.
Unless you're in Tommy's town.
Yeah, there's
True,
no
but
rent
then the
there,
rent is
to my
controlled by
knowledge.
Tommy, who is arguably scarier than the zombies.
By the end of it, yeah.
There's an abundance of houses in Nier Automata.
I was thinking Nier Automata, but also like not really.
Yeah, I'm looking at Nier and Nier Automata on my shelf, and I'm just like, I could say those as a joke, but realistically, they're pretty bad.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. What about no? You know what? I'm gonna go with Civilization 5.
Where you only have to worry about Gandhi.
Yeah. Also, because like you don't really have to worry about actually no, because the whole things are based around income going up and down. Yeah, no, I don't know. People die all the time when there's not enough. Oh, I don't know. Stardew Valley. I'm choosing Stardew Valley.
Oh shit, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Okay, Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, damn it.
Yeah, you gotta think of one.
Oh, okay. The Rocket League Stadium. I'll just be one of those eggs that just exists in
Just
purgatory.
jump up and down. Yeah.
But
Never need to
but
eat,
is ro-
never need
is-
to sleep.
But are you simulating soccer with that?
Seth, how would you like to get introduced to the sweet, sweet taste of Knuckles G
I
Fuel?
was waiting for it.
You're talking about sour power? I'd love some.
Well, I got my answer. Seth got his, and Patrick's a disappointment as always. So.
You know what my last thought was? Age of Mythology, where the population is controlled by houses. Then I thought, wait, that gets dicey really quick.
It gets really dicey real quick. Zeus just decides one day that he's had enough and bombs you from the sky with lightning. Elephants trample everything you love.
The only other one that was slightly more serious would be like some sort of trailer park system in one of the MotorStorm games, because that's basically just a commune. And I'd probably be okay with that, but I don't know how they run. I don't know how they run their real estate business.
Patrick, Patrick, you can have Animal Crossing. I'm changing my answer to Kingdom Hearts 1 because if you're
you out of your mind?
if your planet dies, then you get sent to Travis Town, which just makes a house for you.
Yes. Okay, but Travis Town is like you spend most of your zones in the city being attacked by Heartless.
That's in zone 2 and 3. If you get a house in zone 1, you're fine.
Yeah, but if you don't, you're fucked.
Why does this sound dangerously close to why we can't live in Last of Us world?
Yeah. I was thinking it sounds a lot more like Hunger Games, but anyway, what district are you in? Oh, unlucky.
No, you only ever see one person in Travis Town die, and then Geppetto shows up, and he's safe.
You only see one person die because the rest of them are already dead. How many people do you see in that zone?
You see the Final Fantasy crew, you see like 5 NPCs, you see Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
You see the people that can fight and our main characters that can't die without Disney just turning their heads. Like
you also see a recolor of Tidus.
In the first island, you get to see Waka being racist on the beach.
That's just Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, that's true. It's the same thing. All right, well, I'm done with this question. I'm time for beds.
Yeah, I think I'm done with this question too. If you or someone that you know, looking at you, lovely listener, has a question that you would like us to answer, get in touch. We're on Facebook at Fast Travel Lounge. We're on Twitter at Fast Travel Lounge minus one of the L's. Or on good old-fashioned email, fasttravellounge@gmail.com. If you're listening to this on a platform that you can give some form of rating, appreciation, comment, subscription, review, etc. to, please do. Please also send this to someone who you think might enjoy listening to me ramble and get angry at Josh for 2 hours. I'm sure the person that you send it to would really appreciate it, as would we. Anyway, this brings us to the end of episode 27. Do we have anything on the cards for episode 28 next week? Obviously, you mentioned the news. That's going to be a large component of it. I'll be playing Mario Strikers. Looking forward to that. And watching Emperor's New Groove again with the boys.
Yeah, boy.
I'm not sure what I've got on my plate, actually. Now that Ace Attorney Freeze are finally not looming over me anymore, I'm free to do anything I want.
Gonna play Final Fantasy X.
Cool. Well, I have been Patrick. I have been joined by Saif and Josh. You've been listening to Fast Travel Lounge, episode 27. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Final Fantasy 16 is going to be one of the games of all time.